Yes, you are first. Rotten. Rotten is first. Aside from that fucking tedious bot, it's relentless, bro. I made 3 coins from Nord's VPN so far. 6 hours, and we can get this badass quest monster, who actually seems playable. I haven't even really paid much attention, but I think he wears the amulet and the sword relic, and the amulet gives anyone with AoE damage basically a stamina drain, as long as you get their stamina within half range before hitting them. Like a perfect example is like Lord Pump Seed Staff on Lindworm takes half their stamina away, and then this quest monster can take away the rest. Basically the same thing that makes the Necro good in the Gauntlet. Bro, my Guardian is going to run out by that time. I have not clicked my Guardian yet, but we got 5 hours to get this Gauntlet done, bro. What's good on LJ? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Started out a little rough. I was arguing with the lady when I woke up, and then we was fine by the time, about an hour ago. I threatened to piss on her toilet seats. So yeah, like, race is slow because I'm never online when the quests come that I can do. But I have 2 legendaries ready to hopefully stick on the rank quest if one shows up, and I've got a epic breeding right over here that hopefully we can stick in when a breed epic quest comes. But I'm not, when I say breed epic quests, I don't mean like breed 6 of them like this. Show everyone points on your team. I'm doing horrible, guys. This is my worst race since playing. I've never done this bad since playing. But I mean, it's not like it was easy for me to make the points that I did make. Because in the beginning of the race, whenever all the easy quests came, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't rank like a panda. I couldn't rank uncommons. Like, and if I could only do like the rank do your part, because I could only do one of them. I didn't have any island space. I literally had a freaking Hyperia in every single island space possible and every vault space. So like I had to sell something to be able to like rank a green star or whatever. I just want to say I'm so glad I found you on YouTube a while back, because I've been doing tasks for gems. I used to want to spend money on the game but never did because of you. I'm at 9k gems right now. I mean, that's cool, but it's not, I don't really encourage anyone to not spend money on the game unless you don't have the money to spend on the game, or you don't want to spend on games. Like, I think that that's a big misconception in the gaming world, is like free to play versus pay to play. Like, there's reasons to spend money on games, man. Like, especially if you work all fucking day. If you work all fucking day, don't listen to one goddamn thing somebody tells you when they say don't spend gems. Like, or I mean, don't spend money on the game. Like, if you work all day, man, and you earn your own money, like, you do what the hell you want with that money. If buying something on a game makes you have more fun, you buy that fucking shit. You can sit around and let people discuss whether it was worth it or not later on. Like, you're gonna die one day. Like, you can't take anything with you when you die. So, like, I don't know. I wish people would, like, ease up on that. Like, especially versus me. So many people think I'm against spenders, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, they think that, like, if you spend money on the game, I think less of you or something. That's not true. That's not true at all. But some of you, it is true. Meaning, some of you people, like, if you didn't spend money on games, you, like, I don't know what you'd spend your money on. But there's people out there right now, like right now, this minute, there's some man out in a bar, and he's spending $10 for 2 drinks on 2 bitches at the bar, hoping one of them is going to want a second drink from him. Like, And by the end of the night, he's gonna have spent $300 fucking dollars in a bar tab and not even get laid. Probably, she gonna take a fucking Uber home. Like, now you tell me who's wasting their money. Like, there's a lot of fucking ways to waste your money in this world, bro. Like, when I was in Las Vegas, there were people who spent $42 fucking dollars to wash their fucking car, bro. Wash their fucking car. To drive it through one of those fancy fucking car wash things. Some of those motherfuckers were like $42. You know, like, there's people spending $200 a fucking week washing their goddamn car. Or $200 a month washing their car. It's like, man, they could have left that brown spot on their car and bought a Monster on Monster Legends. Like, you can't judge, like, spending money. So, like, my purpose on my channel is to help educate you on what to buy with your money. Meaning, I think that if I play all day and you work all day, I don't think you and me should be arguing about what's good and what's not good. I think, like, you should basically be like, oh, hey, well, if you come to my work, I wouldn't, like, if I went to your job where you worked and I started trying to tell you how to do your job or what was good or bad at your work, wouldn't you think I was a Fruit Loop? You'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? What does he know? He doesn't know nothing. And that's how I feel when spenders try to tell me what's good. It's like, man, go back to work. You don't have a fucking clue what's going on, man. Like, it gets aggravating sometimes. But also, I mean, like, there's people out there who, like I've said before, man, they don't care to stress on a game. Meaning, like, they're not trying to figure out what's the next best PvP team. They're just trying not to lose. Losing's not fun. So if you could say, hey, man, look, I'm having good results with this team, and, like, you should spend money on it, the last thing they want to hear is, oh, I'm a stupid idiot who does nothing but copy people. It's like, nah, bro, you're a worker. But at least admit what you are. Don't be trying to be like, I came up with a team that you basically seen somebody else have and spent money on. Oh, yeah, man, I'm not trying to discourage you from appreciating me. I'm just trying to let you know that, like, it's not my goal to make people not spend money on this game. It's my goal to save people money on this game. How do you do good, sir? On this game, bro, patience, man. Patience is one of them things that I lack big time, and it comes in clutch for you on this game. Meaning nothing happens overnight on this game. You gotta kind of, like, I believe in the upside down pyramid on this game, meaning you start with like 1 brick, and then you put 2 brick, and then you put 4 brick, and then you put 8, and then it's like, once you've, like, if you see where I'm at in the game, you can see that I'm going to start running away from other players who did not do that. Meaning, like, if you're free to play and I'm free to play and we started at the same time, I guarantee you now, if you look at your account, you might be able to be like, oh, I could probably beat him up, or oh, I could probably beat him in a fight. Yeah, but if you look at how exponentially my account grows, I'm going to run away from you. Because I've decided to go with the upside down pyramid method. If everything happens for a reason, and, you know, what we're doing today is because of what we did last week. And what we did last week is because of what we did last month. And that's the way this game works. That's how you get good at this game. Is you got to have a really good idea of where you're going with your account, because you cannot be like, oh, well, I'm gonna level this up. Like, it could be fucking shit by the time you level it up if you're free to play. Everything is so slow at free to play. Like, when I get a race monster, it's usually the following month before I can even use it, because I get it and its rune slots aren't open. So it's like, what are you gonna spend gems to open them up? It's like, if I just spent gems recklessly on everything because it was comfortable, I would have never been able to get to enough gems to buy a Hyperia farm. Like, some of those tasks take you almost all month to do to get 4,000 gems or something. And people act like, oh, he makes 4,000 gems a week. Nah, bro. I'm failing a 4,200 gem task right now. Go check it out. I gotta collect my coins on it anyway. I've been on this bingo for, I'll show you, since October 3rd. It's October 21st now. Okay, that means that I've been taking time out of my days to come to this damn game for 18 days now. And my quest, or my goal for the task, was I had to make level 40 in 20 days. I am level 36. I'm like halfway to level 37, and I've got 3 days left. That means, I'll tell you what that means. It means I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna finish this task, guys. I'm gonna fail it, and I'm gonna fail it by just a tiny bit. Oh, hey, Luke. Good to see you, man. I'm gonna fail this by just a tiny, tiny little bit, and people don't ever understand that. Is that this task took me 3 weeks, and I'm gonna get nothing for it. I'm not gonna get one fucking gem from this task, man. But yet, when I do a task and get gems, people will say, "Oh, he's only good because he does tasks." Like, there is so much behind the scenes that people don't understand when it comes to tasks, man. People are literally paying you like nickels to work, it feels like. Meaning, if you got a job, don't be doing these fucking stupid gay tasks. I don't recommend these stupid gay tasks to anyone with a damn job. I don't care if you work minimum wage in whatever state you live in. Like, if you live in another country, maybe these tasks are for you. Like, I wouldn't go make soccer balls for nickels if I could just sit and play bingo instead for nickels. But in America, you make so much at minimum wage that there's no sense to be playing bingo for nickels. You just go get a minimum wage job and be like, "Oh, I worked 2 hours and I was able to buy the gems." What are you talking about? Like, I can't even express it enough, man. Like, but another way it goes is, a lot of you people who watch my channel, you're young as shit. If you're not old enough to have a job, then you kind of got no choice on how to make your gems. You got to do these stupid ass little things. But then people who tell me in my comments, they say, "How do you get those tasks? I don't get them." And I say, "Look, man, tasks are based off age, sex, and location. So, and it's also all based off phone owner information. So most likely kids don't get these damn tasks, which means it's I don't know, it's so hard to explain to people that tasks are overrated, bro. They need to delete them from the game. Like, I feel ashamed to even be able to call myself free to play. I feel like I get paid to play the most tedious, stupidest, shittiest games in the whole world. Like, there's no skill at all involved in this bingo game. It's just about sitting there and pressing the buttons and pressing, waiting on the numbers that get called. Now, the answer on why am I not getting the gems on this isn't because it wasn't possible. I'm not getting the gems on this because it required me to log in every hour consistently for like a week to be able to get these last couple of levels. And I don't do it. I don't even log into Monster Legends consistently every hour. Meaning right now, currently in Monster Legends, we have a login every 2 hours. You get a video chest with a candy in it. I'm missing tons of those every day, guys. I'm getting them all. I log in. When I do log in, I play for like 4 to 6 hours sometimes. Or I don't play very long at all. I just log in to see what's going on. Like, check the race, check and see what's going on, and log back out. That's what makes Monster Legends a good game for me, is the fact that I'm not a kid anymore. If I sat here and played Monster Legends for 16 hours, my girlfriend would be giving me the fucking stink eye real quick, boy. Meaning, like, if I turned around and looked at her, she'd have that look of like, "I'm gonna pull your heart through your fucking chest out." Like, whereas other games require that kind of dedication if you want to be good free to play. Like when I played RuneScape. If you want to be good at RuneScape free to play, you gotta play like 16 hours a day. Otherwise, somebody's getting ahead of you, or some kid out there is gonna like mash your account. That's just the only way it works. 17 with a job, saving for a car, bro. Yeah, if you're saving for a car, I mean, you probably don't want to be spending your money on video games. I get that. But at the same time, like, if you're grinding in real life, you don't have time to really be grinding in video games. Meaning, I feel like the people who grind in real life, video games are escape from real life. Meaning, if you worked all day and you were grinding to make that money to save up for a car, when you get home from work, you'd want to sleep, not get on fucking Monster Legends. You'd be like, "Fuck that stupid game, it's for kids. I got shit to do tomorrow." The tasks are much better on Android than what they are on iOS. I don't think there are tasks on iOS, buddy. I think you can only do surveys on iOS. And the reason for that, man, is it's based off phone owner information. And the tasks know that you own an iPhone. And Apple wants a cut. Meaning the third-party company Fiverr that gives the tasks out. Yeah, the third-party company that gives the tasks out, Fiverr, they pay Monster Legends for you playing their games, and then you get gems. Well, Apple wants a percentage of that money that goes to Monster Legends, whereas Android doesn't. Android's free, meaning Android lets you update. Android lets you do things without them charging you. Apple's the same way with an update, meaning, don't quote me because I could be wrong, but every time Monster Legends updates this game, and you have to go back to the App Store and update your game, meaning go to Google Play or whatever and update your game. I am pretty confident that Apple makes some money off of that. Android does not. Android lets games update for free. And that's one of the big... Oh, shoot, I have a pimple. I get pimples all the time, bro. But yeah, that's the way it works. Like, so it's off your age, it's off your sex, and it's off your location. You can just lie and say you're a 69-year-old man who lives in America when you set up your phone. I got 4K gems by doing a task. I've probably gotten 16K gems from doing tasks. I'm not exactly sure, but I have always put either a screenshot or like I've talked about it in a video every time I've ever been paid for a task since playing. You got to remember, I didn't even start doing tasks until Ignis race. Ignis race was the first race I ever did a task. Meaning before then, I couldn't stand Monster Woods. Like, I tried to do surveys when I first started playing, and I got as far as like, are you a boy? Are you a girl? How old are you? Like, sorry, this survey's not for you. And then it would just like never pay me. And I would do 10 of them and never get paid for nothing. So I just like was like, fuck this, it's a scam. I'm not doing it. Then when I bought my new phone, I went back and tried again, and they started paying me, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll try a couple tasks then. You can use VPNs on emulator and do the same task. Yes, sure. BlueStacks is an emulator that I used to use when I played Dungeon Boss to play Dungeon Boss on my computer. So I mean, like, I know there's lots of ways that you can get around the rules to be able to. But yeah, like I said just a little while ago, man, those of you who think that I get super rich off doing tasks, you're underestimating how much time those damn things take. Like, now the reason why I like slot tasks is because I can watch movies with my woman and just have my phone playing a slot in the background on auto spin. And then if I win or if it needs touched, like, you know, you have to click to, you know, do some mini game or something, I can click it and then put it right back on auto spin. And then it's okay to play 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. Why? Because technically I only interacted with the phone for like 30 minutes out of them 12 hours. And that's my favorite task. Bingo? It's not the same way, bro. You gotta click the fucking buttons, or you do the auto ones where it's like you gotta bet 12 cards at once before it lets you auto. And then then the trick to the slots task is, since I'm just gonna leave it on auto spin in the background on a second phone, meaning it's on this phone that I do the slots. It's on a second phone I will play Monster Legends, meaning I'll use two different phones. That way the one phone can stay busy for 12 hours doing slots, while the other phone I log in, do Monster Legends or whatever I need to do during the day. But I just bet at like the lowest bet possible. Since I know that I'm going to have the ability to do that for 10 hours a day, I might as well just bet the lowest bet possible. Because if I go broke, then I can't do it. Like, it's pretty simple. Didn't you say in yesterday's stream you were going to watch a movie with your movie? If so, which movie? We watched a bunch of movies, bro. We watched some Star Trek movie. I fell asleep during Justice League or something, the Ben Affleck Batman movie, and then we also watched some Shia LaBeouf. He was a gangster in some movie called Tax Collector, which that was probably the better movie of all the ones that I watched, was Tax Collector, where they gave him like cauliflower ear, and he was supposed to be like some badass like bodyguard for this, I guess, Mexican cartel guy. I don't know. I didn't follow too much into the detail, but it was an action movie and it was pretty good. And then the other movie that we watched was Ava, something about some unrealistic woman who beats everybody's ass and shoots up every place like she's a hitman or something. I don't know. It's hard for me to suspend my belief and watch a woman dominate on a screen. I'm just like, yeah, only in Hollywood. Like, it's not fucking happening in real life, bro. In real life, there's no 130-pound woman gonna toss 200-pound men over their shoulder and whoop their ass with fucking karate kicks and kung fu. It's not fucking happening. Like, not happening at all, bro. No way. Ronda Rousey would get her ass beat by men. Like, I mean, she might be able to beat up some little bitch like me, but not like the men that you see in these movies, bro. Like, this Ava chick straight up, like, took out 20 soldiers in one scene in the movie, and I was just like, no way. No fucking way. Maybe a guy who'd never done a push-up in, the past year and drank nothing but Mountain Dew, you might be able to toss him over your shoulder. But that guy who eats a cow every 6 months, it ain't happening. No way. But yeah, so we watched those movies, man. We watched a bunch of movies. She had off yesterday. That's why we watched so many movies. I didn't have much time to play either because like usually race I play. You guys know from like last race I streamed 30 some hours stream. I usually play my ass off when race comes around. That's the only time that I'm like all the time active on Monster Legends as much as possible is during race. Meaning when it's not race time, I just log in, log out. What do I think of the Cosmic Oros? I think he's shit, bro. I think he's trash. The way I look at these monsters, it's hard to tell what's a good monster because PvP is dead right now. Meaning, I don't give a fuck what you're using to make top 100 or top 10 or whatever. Nobody's doing PvP. Like, PvP is dead. There's no reward for making top 10. There's no reward for making top 100. So, to me, how were the last 3 days of TNT? They've been slow, bro. I've been a complete, like, bitch this whole race. I'm like, this is the worst race I've ever done, Luke. I had no prep. I sold all my prep for Hyperions before the race started. Like, but they're going for 95 laps, so everything is smooth. And I think we're gonna get yeah, Luke, you're definitely better than Purell. But Purell is still he's entertaining enough to watch. I mean, sometimes I get bored on his videos and I turn them off, but I'm sure people get bored on my videos and turn them off too. Like, it's just hard to watch Monster Legends if you just got done playing Monster Legends sometime, unless you're seeing something you haven't seen before. Whereas, like, my favorite thing about Purell is it's basically like looking at something I can't do because all of his dudes are always on roids. Like, I watched that, the most recent one I seen of Purell's was the Air Duels. And I was just like, I really wish, the only thing I wished when I watched his videos, I was like, I wish he would just click his opponents so I could see how shitty their runes are. Like, because I can see how decked out his are. He's got a mutant every single spot. Like, but what about his opponent? Do they have mutants too? I'm just curious. Like, and now I'm really curious because I have to do air duels this month. So, like, seeing what people like him have just makes me like not want to do it at all. I'm just like, dude, like I could be the best player in the world and have the best team, and if I go up against 12 mutant runes and I only got one on my team, it's not going to be very good. Like, that is so much HP and stamina advantage. It's insane. Like, I finished second in air duels, didn't record a video though. Oh man, bro, you said you were using Ferris and Spitfire though, right? And then I seen a video, or seen in his video, he said that he stopped using Spitfire because he's seen people are using Chucklemuckle, and I didn't understand that at all. I was like, what does Chucklemuckle do against Spitfire? Like, I don't get it. I guess something I missed, but with Pure Awe and his war vids, see, that's another thing. I don't do war vids. I'm not into war. I can't stand war. War's boring as fuck to me. I could change that opinion. All they have to do is put better rewards in the team shop. Remake the team shop rewards, and I'll change my opinion about about war. But as is, there's absolutely no opinion or no reason, in my opinion, for me to stress in a hard war. Meaning, like, I'd rather be on a team where I could do all 6 attacks in 10 minutes and get 400 coins. The only Monster Legend YouTubers I watch are Lost Jumper, Luke, and Purell. Wubby Gaming's pretty good to watch if you want to see what the Gauntlet has before you do your Gauntlet run. I highly recommend that. It's definitely very valuable information to be able. He's got a smooth get up going with his live stream, or even when he records, where he plays that little music in the background, and he like, of course he spends gems and shit some days, but still, if he's spending the gems so that you don't have to, that's worth watching, in my opinion. Meaning, he's showing you nodes 40 through 56 every day before you do your Gauntlet run. That's pretty boss. So, like, I recommend checking that out. Yeah, I definitely would recommend that. And it's funny because I used to not like Wubby. Meaning, like, when I was a new player and I'd only been playing for like 2 months, me and him got in an argument in global chat. Yeah, and I don't usually chat in global chat. And yeah, I just, like, he was telling me that maybe if I wasn't such a prick, like, somebody would help me by letting me join their team or some shit. And I was just like, man, whatever, bitch. You're like a pay to lose. And, like, months went by, and then finally I realized, you know, like, okay, I want to leave these shitty teams where I'm not even getting the race monster, because I was only doing like 8 laps on the team that I was on. So I messaged him and tried to see about joining his team, and he never responded and didn't accept a friend request on Discord. So I basically just like built resentment towards him since then. And then I seen when I was calling out Unknown Error that he was the one that was encouraging them to use macros like for auto rune crafting and shit. So that was just another like me looking down upon him as like, who the fuck is this loser, man? And then it's like it didn't fit though once I heard him live. Like once I could hear him live and put a face with his words instead of it just being typed, like I don't know, it gave me a different opinion about him. That he seemed like a good dude who means well. Like I did feel like whenever I would first check out Skill to Kill's gauntlet information that he was just like some dude that sucked that was trying to get credit for shit that was nothing but spending gems. Meaning like you're not doing anything that isn't already being done. You're just basically trying to be the first one, like saying, oh look, I beat the gauntlet on this day, and oh I use this team, and it's like, good for you, bro. How the fuck is that helping somebody who hasn't done it? Like, tell us what monsters have CD moves, tell us which monsters have 0 stamina moves, tell us how fast monsters are, tell us shit that we can use to build teams that are going to help us, instead of just saying, hey, look at me, I beat the gauntlet on this day with this team. Like, and I mean, it has got better now. I think there's a lot more information on Skill to Kill in the gauntlet, but yeah, to me, there was only a few people that contributed to my growth in the gauntlet. And I'd say most of it went to Demo. Demo took a lot of time to come into my Discord and basically make fun that I was still on node 20 through 29 while Demo was on like 47 or 46 and using Kodama at the time. It would be like, all y'all use is these 3 monsters, they're not even 140. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And I just saved Stardust. I saved like 3,000 Stardust before ever deciding to rank anybody in Kodama. I went all in on Kodama. I'm not in the Skill to Kill Discord. Haven't had the link come by yet. If you know my Discord, I'll put it in there sometime. Just ask for it. It's hard for me to stream and do Discord at the same time. Like, otherwise I'd send it to you. But yeah, I mean, Skill to Kill is basically like Monster Legends Online 2.0. It's almost as bad as Monster Legends Online, but it's got enough good players in there to where you can kind of like, I don't know, ignore some of the shitty ones sometimes, if that makes any sense. Whereas like Monster Legends Online is like so many shitty players that it's like a noob spree. Like when I go in there, it's just a bunch of noobs arguing about noob shit, and like they never have an idea what the hell's going on. And then there'll be like 1 or 2 spenders in there who think they're hot shit because they spent money on the game, and they basically just try to bully around fucking anybody who opens up their mouth on Monster Legends Online. Other than that, I think we're getting pretty close with the gauntlet to being able to smoke some of these spenders too, bro. To be honest, like, we're only a couple of months away from starting to make mutant runes, and once I get a hold of 12 mutant runes, they better look the fuck out. Like, that's how I feel. It's simple. Like, it takes a long time for free-to-play, but the game, there's been enough people crying that I think there's definitely opportunity for free-to-play to beat up spenders if they don't keep spending. Meaning, if you don't keep buying the new shit every single week, eventually I'm going to catch you. That's all there is to it. Monsters get outdated too fast, so you can't just, like, buy something and sit on it forever, if that makes any sense. It's like a depreciation value in Monster Legends. Like, just like if you go buy a new car. As soon as you drive that bitch off the lot, it loses value. Well, in Monster Legends, as soon as you buy a monster, as soon as the next one comes out, it's going to go down. You say you are missing nothing. What does that mean? He says, I don't know, I'm missing much. No, you're not missing. You're definitely not missing anything from Monster Legends official, but I feel like I haven't heard of anyone getting banned from there for not doing something ban worthy. Like, I don't like the chick, I guess, or the dude who runs that thing, Mary or Mari. Mari can kiss my fucking ass, man. Like, at first, I gave respect to him, but after, realizing that they're just a cunt, like, they can kiss my ass, bro. They're another pay-to-lose, shitty-ass fucking loser who's been playing this game so fucking long and got nothing to show for it, but I'm on an elite war team. Like, good for you. Good for you. Go take your fucking war coins and buy a fucking life. That's how I feel. Like, I don't know Helen. Like, I think Helen messaged me one time when I said some stupid shit about sex in the chat. They were like, if somebody's saying something from coming from another country was going to go to America, and I was like, well, if you're going to come to America, you better either have money or be good at sex, like, because that's what matters over here, bro. Like, you better be able to give a bitch an orgasm, or you better have some money in your wallet, one or the other. Otherwise, you won't amount to shit. I have a whole lot of level 9 runes, but I'm debating if I should take the risk to try and make them into level 10s. There was a time where I would tell you no, Mango, but the game has changed since that time, and the point in which that made it change was the cosmic book rewards. So ever since the cosmic book rewards have come out, my opinion is now different when it comes to level 9 runes. Like an example would be level 9 speed runes. Before the Cosmic Era books, I would never recommend any free-to-play ever use a 10 speed rune because it was only a 1% speed boost from a 9 and was the same resource value as a mutant 9, which could give you like 15% life or something. Now I changed my mind on that because they're so easy to get 9 through 10 chests that I highly recommend that you do try to make 10s out of them. And what I recommend you do is you figure out your Nemesis team, since the Nemesis Survival Dungeon still comes around every month, and you decide on if you're going to rune it up with 9s or 8s. Don't put 10s on it because the monsters are only useful once a month. And then I recommend that you work on getting gold runes to be able to swap to monsters like your Nemesis team that you don't use all month. Then you can put gold runes on them all month and then switch those gold runes back out for something else at the end of the month. So like say you put 8s on a mountain splitter. Say you put 3 8s on a mountain splitter. When you get one of these 9 rewards from a book reward or something, you can put 3 level 1 team golds or golds in the crafter with the 9, and you're either going to get back a 10 or you're either going to get back an 8, because if you get a 9, you just do it again. So you're going to turn all of your 9s to either 10s or 8s. It's either going to be one or the other. You're either going to get a 10 or an 8, and then if you get an 8, you can use that 8 to put on your Nemesis monster and leave it sit there. That's my recommendation for when it comes to 9s. I think that 9s are meant to be put in the crafter now and make 10s. And I don't think it matters if you do it during Rune Lords or not. I think it's still smarter to just flip 10s on Rune Lords. So basically, like when Rune Lords is over, try to make a 10. But if you want to do it during Rune Lords, you can. I feel like it's still just easier to flip 10s over. Funny enough, the free-to-play arena monster is better than all the past monsters. I'm not even sure who... Oh, you're talking about backwards tabora? I mean, it's good, but it's still not shit, man. Like, for real. Like, PvP is dead. If PvP wasn't dead and PvP was important, I'd tell you that it's not good at PvP. Either is Kodama. Meaning, like, you see Kodama all day long in PvP, but I don't think Kodama is good at PvP. I think Kodama is over-invested in versus its enemies in PvP, and that's why it looks so good. Meaning, like, even a Vanos with 1 mutant rune can come right through and just punch the shit out of a Kodama. Like, and you can't get through Megataunt with these monsters. Meaning, you need an answer to Megataunt plus your Kodama or backwards Tabora to both be... for both of them monsters and your answer to Megataunt to be faster than your enemy's, like, game plan. That's pretty demanding to call something good that requires that much. Meaning, for something to be good in PvP to me, it has to solve problems and create problems. Whereas CDA and dots, like, they're not getting through Megataunt. Like, that's not good when you need a partner. When you need a tag team partner, you're not good. Obviously, you're not good if you need help. And I get that not every monster can answer Megataunt. Exactly, that's why they're not good monsters. Like, a good monster can do way more than just answer Megataunt. They can beat up a whole enemy team by themselves if it doesn't go right. Something like how Wormlad was. When I first got a Wormlad, bro, Wormlad could beat up a whole fucking team by himself if they weren't prepared. Like, I've started putting team speed on Tabora and winning when they don't use Megataunt as opposed to losing everything. Absolutely. I used to get so annoyed by those teams, Luke. The ones where you come in and they got like a 27,000 speed Kodama and you didn't bring a Megataunt? Yeah, bro. Those are so fucking annoying. I know exactly what you mean. Oh shit. Those that make me rage, bro. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, it's designed to straight up beat somebody who doesn't have a mega taunt, because if you have one, it's complete garbage. But if you don't have one, you're dead right out the gate, and you know it. You pretty much know it coming in. As soon as you get area CDA'd, you're like, what the fuck? Kagu is trash, bro. Complete trash. He doesn't have enough extra turn damage moves. He's got one move that does damage that's an extra turn, and then he's got a regular move, meaning like Spitfire is way better than him. Spitfire can even wear a Shazir Ami or whatever, however you pronounce the Sherry Ami, and can CD, or basically CDA, but he can stamina drain somebody and extra turn drain somebody else. Like, it's pretty good. My Kagu is level 4. Yeah, he's not even good bait in the gauntlet because he wears 2 sword relics. So to me, he's a real shitty monster. Like, the best PvP monsters to come so far I think this backwards tabora is the best one. And then I think Heist is the second best one. And Spitfire has Uriel. Yes, he does. Meaning a lot of people who don't have Blackfeather can still use Spitfire in the gauntlet. You just put an amulet on him and do his AoE. And then or a single, like, I just don't see him as a useful monster. Which one don't you see as a useful monster? There's definitely a lot of monsters don't have uses, and then a lot of monsters do have uses. Where it gets me is where people try to say that backwards tabora is better than Kodama in the gauntlet, and they're like, it can wear Pump Siege staff, and it can wear. I'm just like, oh my god, man! I run out of energy trying to explain to people that they're dumb. Almost crashing my stream because I forgot of that stupid ad. LJ, do you have any War Masters? Yes, man. We just got the Magic one the other day. He's right here. And we've got Rag, we've got Oliviera, we've got Thasla. We just don't have any high ranked War Masters. But yeah, we're working on getting this one so I can get some more book rewards. I'll show you. I'll show you how close I am, guys. Like, people don't pay attention. I do. These books got rewards in them. I'm coming after them, man. Right there he is. I also have everything I need to rank 1 it. I even did his dungeons. So we're getting 3 10s this month from this book. I just got to get the food to feed Wildbird Thundeer so I can extract them. Any tips on how to get a lot of heroic orbs? PvP races. You can do a task and buy them with gems. But basically, PvP's dishing out almost 1,000 every 2 weeks if you Legend 1. Do you think the new race monster is any good? Yeah, I think the new race monster is the best monster of the season so far. But I think that nature monster looks like it's going to be an anticipate monster. It looks just like Tejan. It screams anticipate at me. So I'm hoping that free-to-play, the maze monster is going to be a free-to-play anticipation attacker, because otherwise, I got to do air duels this month, and I don't like all the extra turns already, so I'd like to get an anticipation monster to be able to use on my team. I think it would be nice. Nemesis Survival Dungeon as well. Yeah, I'm way more prepared for the Nemesis Survival Dungeon this time than I was last time. Last time was my first time ever having a team. Yeah, I gotta do the air duels, bro. They put it in here now. Like, what is this bullshit? I wish I didn't have to do it, man. It's not fair at all. It's like a fucking thing that completely favors the person with 12 mutant runes. Like, straight up. There's, like, no one who doesn't have 12 mutant runes is going to be happy having to do this, in my opinion. Like, which cat is the maze monster, and she is sadly not anticipation. No, wrong maze monster, Emperor. Witch Cat is like a fancy maze. I'm talking about the maze monster from this season. We get to watch LJ get destroyed. Yeah, I will. I guess I'm gonna stream it, guys. I think I'll basically the morning of it. I'll turn on the stream, and we'll build. I'll make sure to do air duels when you do. That's fine, bro. Just don't cry if you somehow lose to some free-to-play scrub, because I'm going to spend gems and move my runes for it, meaning I'm definitely coming equipped. Like, I only need level 100 monsters, so it's all about runes. I'm going to make a few mutant runes before the end of the month is over, and I'll spend a couple hundred gems to rune up the team before the event. So, like, if the monsters I plan to use don't have 3 open slots, I'm going to spend gems. I'm just going to tell myself we're doing it for content. But the goal is going to be to make the list, meaning we want to get free to play on the list. That's like the finishing end list. I don't care if it's top 10, top 20, top whatever, but we want to make that list. That's the goal. So yeah, we're going to spend gems. So far, like I said, I'm already leaning towards I hope they come out with an anticipation monster. I think the race monster is super dope. So all those dots at level 100 seem pretty crazy. They were fun. I spent 200 gems moving runes for it. Yeah, that sounds fair. But you're also probably not even paying attention to unlocking rune slots, Luke. Like last month, I had to wait till discount and spend 100 and some gems to unlock my runes just for my season monsters. And the same thing happened the month before that. Meaning each month with the discount is costing me over 100 gems to unlock my rune slots on mythics. Meaning when Air Duels comes, it's not going to be a discount, which means I'm going to have to pay 40 gems to unlock a 2 locked monster. So I really hope we know what team we're using by that damn duel and not after, because that's going to cost a lot of gems, man. If I'm still undecided, meaning if we're like spending 80 gems to open up rune slots on a team, put runes on it, go in, do a couple of fights, and we're like, yeah, I don't like this team. We got to go unlock that other monster and put runes on him. I could see it costing me a few hundred gems. But yeah, as long as it doesn't cost anything ridiculous, I'm down. I'm sure people will say Lost Jumper spent a bunch of gems to do it, but I don't care, man. Like, that's what it's going to take. That's why I wish they didn't put it in here for free to play to do, but at the same time, we're not going to let it go to waste. We are going to try. And like I was just saying earlier, I think the game plan will be just turn the stream on at the beginning of the day, and that way you guys can see me build my team and see me go in. And then we'll see, like, if we're original or if there's, an obvious team that everyone's running. I found mine in first 10 minutes, so didn't spend much. I can help you with a dual team. Yeah, I'll definitely be open for suggestions, man, on probably the night before the duels. When they give us the 24 hours, I'll probably do an open stream for that too, where we can all talk about what we think is going to be good for the air duels, because some people already know what they're using when it comes, and other people, like Luke said, they're building it in the first 10 minutes. And I'm one of those people myself, whereas I'll probably be building it in the first 10 minutes. I'll just have an idea of what I think is good. But like last time, I could have told you before the duels even started that I knew everyone was going to use Ferris, man. Like, you're talking about level 100 monsters and the ability to either shield or give triple boost damage. Like, obviously, no other monster come close in comparison. Meaning, I knew he was going to be the number 1 air duel monster. So I'm hoping that this month's going to be just as obvious, to where it's like, yeah, this is the monster that we got to build around. Everything was built around Ferris. Like, I didn't see or hear anything that was doing well. They gave it to us when it started. Ferris is really good in it. Yeah, for sure, man. He's also good in PvP, period. Like, but he gets stuck in the crossfire. Meaning, I've always said since Lindworm came out that PvP is now a Team Lindworm or Team Anticipation. Whereas Ferris is kind of like caught in the middle of that crossfire, meaning you could easily go like Ferris and a Pierce monster and a Megaton, but you're going to lose to a Lindworm team that's all speeded in, that like controls you out with something like Thasla, but you won't lose to the Anticipation teams that are preying on the Thasla teams. I'd rank him for me to use him in PvP. Yeah, I want to rank him too, just for an auto button team, bro. I was thinking about that Roscula guy, or the water chick. I don't know how you pronounce half these monsters' names. But basically, Ferris lets you do a welfare free-to-play version of the Zorky Vanos Santa team. So you take Santa, you take the Roscula, and you take, that monster, and you take Ferris. And then you basically got the ability to shield Santa or triple boost your Pierce monster, and it should be able to just hit the auto button and get Legend 1 in PvP. People always say you can't auto PvP. I know that's not true. I know for a fact you can auto PvP if you have a big enough gap in your runes and you have a big enough gap in your ranks and you have, a team that doesn't really mess up, meaning there's like no way for it to mess up, like you can definitely auto button PvP. You can just sit there while you feed your face in real life and keep hitting auto and do 200 attacks like nothing. I don't think that's what those people who have 2,000 attacks do, though. I think they actually just PvP the whole time they're on the game, which I can't blame them. There's not much else to do on the game after you've done your chores. Like, I just sat here and run my mouth for like 35 minutes or so. Like, that's basically what it is. Like, once the gauntlet is beat, it's over, bro. Like, there's nothing else for me to do in the day once the gauntlet is over. Which, speaking of which, I need to do the gauntlet. And I have been watching the relic chest, guys. Those of you who watch my channel, I can't recommend you a better Monster Woods than these bronze relics doubles. They're the only time I watch all the videos, man. Like, I didn't even watch the videos to get the pass monster. I usually only watch one video a day. Not when those are in there. I try to watch 20, then wait 4 hours, and then watch 20 more for a total of 40 a day. Times the 3 days, I try to get over 100 chests from it. You got rotten from it. What are you talking about? I've been watching Monster Woods too. I gotta go hit the soda. It's been a long time since I've had one. Yeah, rotten is like the best bait monster possible in the gauntlet if you got Nab's Trap, bro. Nab's Trap and Rotten can drain a whole entire node to 0, stamina all 3 monsters. And he's got damage protection, so like poor people like me don't even have to rank 150 him to be able to bait like any node in the gauntlet. Oh, you can't give me no credit for getting a level 8 to a 10, bro. That's all on you. It takes luck for that to happen. First 10 I ever made in this game was after 4 months of playing, and that's how I did it. I took a team shot reward, and I put it in there, and I got back the same freaking thing I put in. It was like, I've got like I tried to buy like an 8 strength or something, and I got like an 8 team strength. So then I put it in there with 3 strength runes, and I got a 9 team strength back. And I was like, what the hell is this? Then I put it in there a second time, and I got a 10. So like I just lucked into it. You said you're lying? I got 1 a day before, so I got 2 rotten traps in 2 days. Yeah, I don't know much about Rotten's trap. I don't think it works like that, guys. I don't think it works that good. Like, I'm not worried about getting a Rotten's trap. I think traps are like the worst relics in this game. They're awful. They've even cost me in the gauntlet before because they'll drain all the monsters to where Kodama's mask won't trigger on them, and if your Kodama didn't have like full stamina, you can get blown away. I am going to have to spend a bunch of gems, or not gems, I mean a bunch of gold today moving relics, but again, we're going to try to avoid moving as many of them as possible. And I did open up some extra, I got a 10 crafting that was not, like, is actually a 9 that I turned into a 10. So it could be a team speed, or I think it was a team strength 9 that I put in there with 3 team speeds. When honestly the next 10 that I need is a strength 10. But I gotta find where I put all these random level 10s so that we can change our gauntlet team back. I was supposed to story time today too, but I guess I got carried away on talking about the game, so we didn't really story time. I asked my woman if she could think of any stories when I was just walking with her earlier. I was like, can you think I said we're gonna have story time tonight. I was like, do you think there's any stories that I haven't told anybody that I should be telling them? And she didn't really think too many of them. I got an old friend that's doing life in prison for a violent murder, and he used to always like threaten to kill me or kill my woman when he was drunk. And she wanted me to tell a story about him fucking. But I can't really think right off the top of my head, like, where to even begin telling stories about that motherfucker. I got so many, like, oh. Crazy son of a bitch. I know that. It'd be hard to tell the stories while playing in the gauntlet, but yeah, I guess when it comes to like story time, man, it's rare that you're gonna be able to ask me something where I wouldn't tell you. I'm pretty comfortable with basically like how I got to be who I am, meaning like it's gonna be hard to rip on me for negative shit. Like, so it's not like if you ask me a question, I'm gonna sugarcoat it or give you some bullshit. But yeah, man, I got stories for days. You gotta live to get old, that's for sure. But he's also not even the only friend I had that is doing life in prison for murder, which, I mean, that's why I'm glad to be playing video games and not sitting in there. Why did you get locked up? I've been locked up too many times for there to be one answer to that, Amanda. Yeah, I've got drug charges, but that's not the only reason I've been locked up. I've got an extremely long criminal record, bro. Like, if like the last time when I was going to court in Ohio, it was, my record is so bad that the lawyer for the state, when they were trying to prosecute me over drugs in Ohio for trafficking, was reading over the list, and he was just like, he's got so many charges from so many different states. I don't even know how many times or how long he's been in prison or how long he's been in jail or what all crimes he's committed or not committed. He's like, I got a book over here. So they were trying to basically like see about me getting released or whatever, and I was just like, man, I'm just trying to bail out, that's all. Like, and he was talking about me being a first-time offender, or that's what it was. The judge asked if I was a first-time offender, and the guy was like, I have no idea how many times he's offended. Oh, shit. Yeah, getting in trouble in a state that you don't live in really sucks, guys. You have to travel to court in the state that you got in trouble in, meaning like I lived in West Virginia at the time, and I got busted in Ohio, which meant I had to drive 10 hours to court every time they had court. It was crazy. It sucked. Like, if you're going to get in trouble, you should probably do it next to your mom and dad's house, so that way they can come see you all the time while you're in trouble. They got tired of you. There for a while, you used to be able to Google my name and my girlfriend's name together, and we were the first thing to pop up on Google. They had like all the drugs they busted me with in Ohio. Like, that was like $20,000 worth of shit. I have another phone somewhere. I'll check and see if it still pops up when you Google my name. But yeah, that was the time where I like went to jail and pretty much played people with paper towel and shit paper chess pieces because they got rid of them because people smoke crack. They break the ends off the rooks. So they ruin chess for everybody. Let me see. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, because, like, yeah, it's still... So, all you have to do is type in my name, Edward Walsh, and my girlfriend's name, Crystal Riley. So, all 4 words into Google, bro, and we're the first one to pop up. Just a different person with your name, bro. I looked it you up, and it says you are dead. I'm gonna die one day, that's for sure. I already feel like I'm on borrowed time. That's another story I could tell you guys sometime. Is that, like, I thought I died once already. But I was just tripped out on drugs, man. I'd been smoking bathroom crank too long. I was up for like 11 days. And then I hallucinated people that weren't real. I hallucinated so much shit. That's a long story all by itself, though. I'd have to make like a whole video on that story. But as for being in trouble for drugs, you guys can look me up for that one. Like I was just saying, my name, my girlfriend's name together, we got busted in Ohio. All my fault, though. She was just driving because my driver bailed on the last minute, and I was like, babe, drive me. I don't have a license. And she got charges out of it. So it sucked. What's your girlfriend's name? Crystal Riley. Riley. It's like troopers find marijuana and hash. And this was back when I was 27, so it was like 6 years ago, meaning I haven't been in trouble in a long time, guys. I've been a good boy. I've been doing it right. But it's like a Ohio State Troopers Facebook post. But yeah, man, and the weed that's in that picture, bro, that's like the sexiest weed I ever had in my life, man. It was like 24% THC Hellraiser OG. Shit was so sexy. It was better than the weed you get at a festival, man. It was fire. I miss it. Like, I don't even smoke weed anymore. Well, I mean, I will in the future, I'm sure, but I don't currently smoke weed. And I haven't for a few months. Probably like 3.5 months, maybe 4 now. But yeah, I'm sure one day I'll smoke it again. I'll probably start doing dabs eventually. Like, it's legal here where I'm at. Like, that's why we came here. Well, part of the reason. The other reason is I want to find the underground city, and I've been unsuccessful at it so far. I feel like I know there's an underground city somewhere here in Denver. I'm not talking about just Cheyenne Mountain. I'm talking about, like, underneath all of Denver. I think there's a city. Another thing that gives me a hunch that I think that there's shit under here is that the sewers are not like the sewers were in Baltimore, bro. Like, in Baltimore, I could walk. Like, when I grew up as a kid in Baltimore, I used to sneak off with some teenagers. Like, I used to walk miles from my house and shit when I was like 6 years old and shit. But when I was like 8 or 9 once, I walked into the sewers, like, through a 10-foot tunnel. And you can walk, like, far enough back, though, so that it'll take you underneath the streets and shit. And you can see out those little drains, like, from the It movie. That's what basically creates the light for you to see as you walk down the tunnels, and you can literally build like whole houses under there. It's so big. Some of those chambers open up into like the Ninja Turtles like house, basically, like bigger than the house that or the apartment that I'm in, like, for sure. But supposedly they flood out. All right, what did I come in here for again? Just show you guys the Lord Pump seed cells that I'm not getting very many of. We have 171, and the egg is hatching. Or, wait, we already hatched the egg, so I need to rank him as soon as this ranker is open. Yeah, bro, like in the movies, the Ninja Turtles, or in the cartoon, like where the Ninja Turtles live under the sewer, how they got that big giant opening that's almost as big as a house. Like, they do have those in the sewers. Like, I've walked through Baltimore sewers and seen that shit. But out here, all the sewers are really tiny. Like, they didn't dig very deep. Like, and that kind of makes me curious. Like, I get it, we live on the mountain, maybe it's harder rock or something, they don't want to dig deeper holes. But then when I start to look on the internet and see all the conspiracy theories about underground cities and underground tunnels and shit here in Denver, it makes me think maybe that explains why the sewers aren't very deep, is because they got shit underneath them. Meaning, like, if you dug a tunnel underneath the sewers, you wouldn't want your sewers to be very deep, because then your tunnels would have to be even deeper. Meaning, it's probably sewers and then 10 feet and then tunnels. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm still a loser that has no business being in the underground city yet. Like, but yeah, if you go on the internet, man, I'm sure you can find tons of conspiracy theories about them. You said trap house. I once had to move because a neighbor thought that I was running a crack house and kept blowing me up. Like, every time somebody would stop by my house, she would put a notebook paper that would say, like, I'm calling the cops and giving them your license plate number. I know you're buying drugs. Because I'd have these girls that would come all the time in, like, skimpy clothing, and they'd have, like, an envelope full of money. So it looked like they were, like, that I was pimping them out or something, because they're handing me envelopes and they're dressed provocatively. But I mean, I can't control what people wear, man. It's just what they wore. So, like, but anyway, this fat chick who lived across the street, who I guess her husband is the one who works, so she was always home watching soap operas and, you know, watching 12 kids, or however many kids she had. She still had so many damn kids running around the yard. That she would just come up with the wildest stories, bro. Like, if there were kids that were, like, even near my porch, she would say, you better get away from that crack house. And, like, oh my God, it was disgusting. And then when I finally decided to move, like, while I had the moving truck out front and was moving and shit, she literally come out and was like, thank God the trash is leaving the neighborhood and shit. It was just, it was awful. And then it didn't help matters that that's where I lived when I got busted in Ohio. So I mean, yeah, like it was pretty like ugh. But I got away from it. I mean, that was I kind of miss living there though. That was Kaiser, West Virginia, man. That was the same city that I went to college in, where Pot State was. Basically, I became a townie. Jumper went from jail to playing video games on YouTube with an Omlet arcade bus. Yeah, in a sense, but I mean, I always played video games. And the first time that I basically, like, I tried to record video games, my dad was an over-the-road truck driver, so, like, he was never home. And I would unlock shit in video games, because back then you didn't have, like, a way to figure out how to unlock shit. So, like, say you beat a game and you found out there was a secret level, or you did something in a game and you found out there was a secret level in a game. There was no way for me to show that. Like, I didn't have a way to save it and be like, hey, look, I got in this secret level, Dad. Like, so I basically, like, hooked a VHS player up to the television and would record my video game on the VHS player while playing it. And then my dad would come home from, like, being gone for 2 weeks, and I'd be like, look at this shit I figured out on the game. So, like, technically, in my mind, I was making YouTube content before YouTube even existed for playing video games. But my dad, he was never really, like, I think he was just kind of like exhausted from being at work for 2 weeks. And he come home, didn't really give a shit about what was going on in video games. He just was like, cool, smile and nod. But yeah, so like now I'm doing the same thing in a different angle, I guess. It's still trying to do things in video games and then just show other people that it's possible. Like, the principle is still the same. But yes, man, having friends doing time in prison for murder and having people that I've grown up with die from overdoses and shit has definitely pushed me more towards being honest with myself. I love video games. I've always loved video games. I can care less how many people watch me play it. The main reason why I be making YouTube shit is because my woman's like, well, you're not doing anything constructive with those games. Like, you don't make any money. It's like, all right, well, maybe somebody will pay me to play them one day. So, like, I'll just go ahead and pay him, or I'll just go ahead and play them and record, and we'll see where it goes. And that's how we started recording on the channel. But the main reason why I made my YouTube channel was I was so sick of creating the meta on Dungeon Boss and spenders just ruining it up. And, like, that shit got on my nerves. So, like, basically, I would spend like hours constructing a team when new monsters come out. And then people would be copying the same fucking team like a week later and pretending like they don't know where it came from. And it's like, you know exactly where it came from. I beat your fucking defense with it. And you went back and clicked the replay to see what beat your fucking defense's ass. And you were like, how the fuck did this team beat my ass? And then you're like, that team doesn't even wear jack shit. So then you go ahead and you fucking spend money making the same team and putting better shit on it, and then you go out and start winning fucking first place with it, and I don't get no credit. So that's why I made a YouTube channel. I was pissed off. I have no idea, Amanda. That's irrelevant to me. If we get 1,000 subs, all that means to me is I can post screenshots. So like, say they do like back to school chess giveaways, I don't have to make a 9-second video that says, hey guys, here's the link in the description for, 10 free chess. I can just post a screenshot and be like, here's a screenshot with a link how to get some free chess. That's what 1,000 means. Yeah, a community post. That's what 1,000 subs means to me. That's why the goal to me is 1,000 subs, is because it opens up more content for me on YouTube to interact with you guys. Meaning I can host, I can do polls. That's another one too, meaning I could basically put up a poll post that says like, hey guys, who should we make a video about out of the new monsters that come out or something, vote. Who do you want to see a video about? Like, shit like that, man. Or just basically like, like right now, I'm not really sure if it's better to make video of doing the air duels or stream doing the air duels. So that would be something where I'd like put up a poll post. Like, would you guys rather see me make videos of the air duels, or would you rather see me just stream it? Whereas I noticed that more people will watch a video than they will a stream, whereas a lot of content is in the streams. And the reason why I stream like something like race is it's just so much easier. Meaning like I don't have to edit. Like like a gauntlet is the best example. Like, I play on turtle speed, I take all day to do the gauntlet, and if I'm going to make that into a video, I spend just as long editing the video as I did making the video. So Why do that when I could just hit the live button and be like, oh, there it was. I went live for 2 hours and we did the gauntlet. Only difference is 500 people will watch the fucking video of the gauntlet in the first 24 hours it's up, and only 100 people will turn into the stream before it's over. Like, so yeah, it's confusing to me. Like, and then I don't usually ask people to sub and shit, because I'm looking at it as, if we can do what I want to do on this channel, which is share information, we shouldn't have to ask people to sub. Meaning, if they don't sub, that's on them. They're the ones. It's their loss, not our loss. That's the way I'm trying to look at it. It's basically like, look, all we're trying to do is be transparent and share information. Meaning, if I got to learn it the hard way, you should be able to, just tune in and learn it the easy way. Whereas if you're not subbed and you miss it, like, that's on you. Now, so far, I might not be giving out all the, greatest tips to help people, but I'll get better at it as time goes. Who do you think the best monster in the game is? Currently, tabora. And the reason behind that is just because tabora is who's making everyone Stardust every day. Like, if you're using a triple Uriel team, you're using tabora. If you're using, Shelly and Kodama, you're using tabora. Yeah, just tabora is the profitable monster, meaning like was available to everyone. You didn't have to get it rank anything. You could have got it rank 0 and you could just spend Stardust ranking it up. It's going to pay for itself. Whereas Shelly is another great monster, but it wasn't available to everyone. You had to buy it. That's why I say that, yeah, tabora is the best monster. In my opinion, anyway. I think tabora is the best monster. Now, when it comes to PvP and shit, sure, you can beat some ass and never use a tabora, but go try to beat the gauntlet up without using a tabora. All it takes is the wrong node and you're fucked. Because of traits. But yeah, that's the goal on 1,000 subs, is we can get to the community post. And then everything should be easier from that point. When it comes to making money off of the channel, I think we're going to have to do more than just gaming to make money off the channel. Meaning, like I was saying, we'd have to basically maybe like once a day make a video about what the hell's trending in the world. Like, just turn on the camera and be like, oh, this is what's popular right now. Let's do like news with Ed. Like, Trump said this yesterday. What do we think about it? Or, like, what do you guys think about Biden sniffing his woman all the time? Like, isn't it funny how they make it out like Biden just goes around sniffing people, but every time they show you a picture, it's always him sniffing his own wife? And it's like, does anybody not question the idea that, like, this guy was vice president for 8 fucking years and nobody never said shit about him, and he runs against Trump for 20 minutes and he's the biggest pedophile on the planet? Like, like, I live in a really fucking weird world, man. It's basically like the presidency in this country is like voting on whether you want your left ear or your right ear stabbed with a fork and cut off. Who's currently doing one for all in your team? Who fucking knows, Tricks? Probably no one. Lost Jumper Monkey D. Liffy is a huge fan of yours, says hi. Like, I'm supposed to know who Monkey D. Liffy is. But, yeah, man, I think if we were ever going to make money off the channel, bro, we would have to branch out. Like, not enough people play an individual game. But I think we could make some pocket change off of just playing the game. Like, just continuing to do what we're doing and sharing information, and maybe we go to a different game and we share information on that game. But, I think over enough time, like a couple of years, maybe we could, get a fan base big enough that understands the principles of what we're behind, where we can make some pocket change. Now, if we're making pocket change, what would I do with that pocket change? I would try to give back. Like, if you guys have seen on other people's content, like where they give away Legends passes and shit, I'm more than happy to give away Legends passes. I'm just not doing it out of my pocket. Meaning, if my fans are watching commercials and I'm making money from it, I will take that same money I make and I'll give out Legends passes and shit with it. That's how I see that. But me personally, I'd prefer to not put commercials on shit. Why? Because I hate fucking commercials. So if I hate commercials, then why the hell would I want to make somebody else watch some shit they hate? And then it's like, yeah, well, do you hate being broke? No, I hate bills. Like, don't have any bills and it doesn't matter if you're broke. Like, that's the way it works. So, I mean, I like to keep the channel... I'd like to not be Zuckerberg or Mark Zuckerberg and tell you like, look, I'm not going to put ads on Facebook, and then, you know, put ads on Facebook. Like, I really don't want to put ads on my content. I really don't want videos, but like, as you can see already, you're getting ads from fucking Omlet Bus, and I don't even like, I don't really get anything from that. I get some coins that I can use to buy like overlays like this Omelet Bus that you're looking at. But you guys are only having to put up with that because I don't have 1,000 subs. Which means 1,000 subs lets you stream mobily directly on YouTube. If you don't have 1,000 subs, you have to use a third-party app to stream on YouTube. There's just no other way around it. Like, YouTube won't let you stream without 1,000 subs mobily. So if we get to 1,000 subs, we get to take off the Omelet commercials, and we get to stream straight up onto YouTube. So that's an example. Who doesn't hate commercials? Exactly, bro. So why would we want to stick those on our shit? So if we can find a way to where we're making pocket change, like, hey, Lost Jumper made, you know, $100 last month playing video games on YouTube. Okay, well, out of that $100, we can give 50 of it out in the Legends Pass. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. Then I don't feel bad being like, yeah, you guys had to, you had to look at that lipstick commercial that came across the TV. Like, and that's another thing too, is I wish I could control the ads, but I think if you monetize so that you get ads on YouTube, they pick for you based off what their AI determines the viewers want to watch, because every viewer doesn't get the same commercial, I don't think. There's just a time frame, meaning it's like the commercial's programmed to be a certain time, not a certain commercial for everybody. If that makes any sense. I think that's how it works. I'm not an expert, man. We'll learn more about that as we get that far. But right now we don't even have 1,000 yet, and we've been pretty busy for, I don't know, half a year almost. We did 86 laps, and now we have stopped. Gonna get this awesome rank 4 monster. Yeah, for sure, bro. He's gonna be useful in the dungeon, and I think he's gonna be useful in the... So far, it's the best monster that I've seen for air duels. Like, level 100s, I'd like to stick some dots on him. What's up, Crystal? What are you eating on lunch today, huh? Huh? What are you eating? Don't tell me you just bam some shit on my channel and you don't even... Yeah, chicken sandwich. Okay, how long do you plan to play Monster Legends? I don't know, Preston. In my mind, if you'd have asked me this last year, I would have told you no longer than 6 more months. I would have figured a year and a half was all Monster Legends was getting from me. Currently, I'm not sure, because if they make major upgrades like they did with the gauntlet, I could be around for longer. The one thing that I find attractive about Monster Legends is not having to play all day. That's the one thing, like, being able to just log in, do some shit, and then log back out for a few hours, like, that's great. Like, I like that. Like I was telling you guys earlier, like, I used to play RuneScape. You couldn't do that on RuneScape. Like, when Dead Man season came on RuneScape, I played for 3 fucking straight days. 3 fucking straight days, bro. No fucking sleep, like 72 fucking hours. Like, and the only reason why was because when you died, you lost all your shit. And so when I would die, I'd tell myself that was my sleep. Meaning, like, all right, I was planning on going to sleep for 8 hours, but now I got 8 hours to make up for all that shit I just lost. It worked though, man. I finished 8th in the world at the end of that Dead Man season, but I busted ass to do that. Are you gonna play more Dungeon Boss? No, I left 17,000 gems on my Dungeon Boss account, but I don't really have any intentions of playing Dungeon Boss. I feel like Monster Legends is better than Dungeon Boss, but yeah, I did leave a shit ton of gems chilling on my Dungeon Boss account. And Dungeon Boss didn't have no damn tasks. You couldn't do tasks to get gems. You had to keep beating the tower and saving them up. And the tower was like infinite gauntlet on this game. Except you got gems for beating the whole thing. Meaning it basically would be like if they put a reward at the end of the infinite gauntlet that gave you like 30 gems. And then you just kept saving them. But it would have been more than 30. It would have been like getting fucking 200 gems. I think the infinite gauntlet's a little too easy, to be honest. I don't think I should have been able to beat it that fast. If a free-to-play can beat it that fast, how the fuck are they making money off of it? Like, that's the one part I don't understand. I feel like it should have been way more of a challenge for me to get it done. Whereas now we've beaten it more than once without spending any gems. Yeah, it needs to be harder. And when I say harder, I don't mean like more ways to lose to randomness. I mean harder as in straight up harder. Like, so I screw the damn, like, oh, I got alted, or oh, I got this guy decided to do this move instead of that move. Like, no, that's not making something harder. That's making something more pain in the ass. How many gems you spent this race? Less than 2,000. I honestly didn't keep track of gems this race, bro, but at the end of El Colossal, I think we had 8,000 and some gems. And I haven't bought anything since then. Or, I mean, since after opening up our rune slots. So, I've seen pay-to-wins like Wubby and Pyro depend on 60 gems per day. Okay, well, I can't speak for Pyro in that department, but for Wubby paying gems is like, I'm blessed, because if he didn't pay the gems, we wouldn't be able to watch node 41 through 56 that day. Meaning, like, he's showing you nodes 41 through 56, and he's doing so in less than 20 minutes. Meaning, if you're about to go do the Gauntlet Slayer, like, maybe you're like, man, I need to go do the Gauntlet, like how I'm about to do the Gauntlet right now. You could easily just turn on Wubby's channel, watch his playthrough for 20 minutes, and now you know every single node in the Gauntlet. Why? Because he spent 60 gems. If he wouldn't have spent 60 gems, you might have only known up till node 52 where he died. You get what I'm saying? Like, so when he spends 10 gems, think of all the people he spent 10 gems for. Like, currently he might not have many people that watch his channel, but I do think if he keeps doing what he's doing every day, putting up the Gauntlet video in a timely manner, I feel like only morons wouldn't watch him. Meaning, where else are you going to get that information from? It's straight up like, look, this is the nodes. The only way it would get easier is if somebody started like a Discord that had nodes, 41 through 56, and then every day they posted screenshots in there of what was of what was like on the nodes. That's the only way you could get it easier, faster, and quicker. His content is definitely like, it's money, bro. Like, he's streaming with a green screen already. Like, clearly dude's spending money in real life and on the game to provide you content. Like, it's going to have a reward value to it. Whereas, like, I'm a bum, bro. That's why we're riding in the Omelet arcade bus. I didn't spend anything to ride in the Omelet arcade bus. It's free. He loves Monsters Legends. He just loves Monster Legends. Yeah, I do get that vibe from him. He gives me the same kind of vibe that Armor Gaming gives me, where these people are like casual players that are basically just all around nice guys that, hey, now he's showing you something that's rewarding. Whereas, I mean, I think it's way more rewarding to just be able to watch his 20-minute Gauntlet video than it used to be to go read that bullshit he would post in the skill that kills, nodes. If I go click like node 45 or something, I couldn't learn dick from what he was saying in those nodes. Only thing I learned was basically, here's a picture of somebody bragging they beat the damn node. Like, it didn't help me at all. But then again, I mean, like, I don't know. You can only expect to get so much at one time from people. What do you do for a living? Don't answer if you don't feel like it. Just wanted to know more about Lost Jumper. Lost Jumper is a house bitch at the moment, bro. I am a retired house bitch. Meaning I basically just try to keep my woman from being pissed off, and I don't create bills. Whereas currently she covers rent, and I basically only spend my allowance on food. But if we were ever hard up, then, I mean, I would just get a random job. Like, the last job that I had was at Taco Bell, but I did work a few years at Quad Graphics. I cashed out my 401k and spent it all on drugs. How old am I? 33. Should they add a negative effects protection? What do you mean? Like, immune to negative effects? Yeah, I could see that. A trait that said immune to negative effects? Oh, wait. Negative effects protection? I I don't know, man. I mean, you could. That's adding skill to the game. Anytime you make an update like that, you're adding more player skill to the game because it shakes shit up. But I don't necessarily see the relevance of it. Like that just basically is like adding another number or another letter to the alphabet, if that makes any. Yeah, that's a better way to say it. What you're asking is like for another letter to be added to the alphabet. Like, can we spell words without it? Sure. Could we spell words with it? Sure. Is it needed? Would it require more skill from people? Sure. You gotta learn another letter. Like, positive effects protection. I mean, you do make a good point. Like, why do we have the letter for positive effects protection, period? Like, and there not be a negative one. So, I mean, yeah, like, I guess, honestly, man, I don't care. If they want to add that to the game, I'll learn to play with it. If they don't want to add that to the game, I'll continue to play without it. That's how I feel about it. To stack dots like a status effect? I don't know what you mean by that. You gotta explain that better. I'm confused. Like, should you be able to quicksand and then quicksand again and have it like be stronger than one quicksand? Is that what you were saying? Like, I'm still confused on what that guy was saying. Yeah, but when you curse somebody who's already cursed, it resets curse. It doesn't stack. I don't know, Adam, how many hours I've spent on Monster Legends, but I know one thing, nowhere near as many hours as I've spent on the other games as I've played. Like, there's times where I don't even play Monster Legends, maybe 2 hours total in a day or less. Like, you just log in, do a couple chores, and log out. That's it for the whole day. Yeah, so being able to, like, quicksand and then quicksand again, that seems a little redundant, but I mean, I understand what you mean. Like, it sucks to have a move like quicksands and them already quicksand it, and then you're like, damn, I can't even use this move because they're already quicksanded. So, I mean, to me, my one thing that I don't like about the game that I really wish would get changed about the game is I wish they would they would reduce chance out of this game. I don't like traits like harden. I don't like traits like ball work. I don't like traits like tough. I don't like things like specials. I don't like things like moves that are 90% accurate. Meaning, like, a perfect example would be you have a move that is 90% accurate base. That means even if you are not under any accuracy reducing effects or statuses at all, there's still a 10% chance your move could miss. Like AoE possession or something. That I feel like any move and every move should be 100% accurate unless something is affecting your game's accuracy. Like, oh, my guy's dazed, so there's a chance he could miss. But if he's not dazed and he's not blind and he's not reduced, there should be no chance that it misses. Like, his move should be 100% accurate. Fuck these moves where something is 95% accurate or 90% accurate, or there's a 10% chance it could go off, or there's a 35% chance it could miss. Like, no. What's happening is the AI is using that to cheat, in my opinion. Meaning the AI can determine a win based off of a miss. Like, you know, this you're gonna miss, bro. Why? Because I win then, or oh, I lose then. And it, like, I feel like they just tell the AI, like, make some gems, and the AI is like, okay, I'll pull some strings over here on this tough trait real quick. I wouldn't replace it, Preston. I would just outdate it. meaning it would become like an antique trait, meaning I would stop putting it on monsters, meaning no more new monsters would come with it. It would become antique over time. you, okay, well, there's a lot of things in games that don't happen in real life, bro. Like, I don't think when creating a good game, it's anyone's duty to make that game mimic real life. So I don't really think the comparison between real life and the video game is important. Uh, and the answer to you is because games are made by people, which means there's a person who has the ability to choose not to put the get free card in the game. So how about choose not to put it in there instead of choose to put it in there? Because I'll tell you the answer to why you're putting it in there, so girls can play this fucking thing too. That's why. No, I like SCs at the beginning of battle. Totally cool with that. I just don't like chance mods. I feel like if you're going to be competitive and you're going to leave things up to chance, like, let's make it the chance like I flip a coin, not the chance that some digital computer decides when the chance fucks you and when the chance doesn't. Like, then you got to trust that the computer's, honest. Like, tell me, does chance make the game harder to play? Saying otherwise means you like an easier game to play. I think chance makes the game easier to play. Because there's a chance you could be the shittiest player in the world and still win. I think if you took chance out of the game, then you'd actually have to win by skill, bro. Every time. Meaning the only way you could win was by skill. Because there was no chance. Leaving chance in there means that the guy who's better than you could lose because of chance. So, I mean, I guess maybe that's why I'm so biased towards chance. What's NSD team you using? The same one that I tried to use last time, just a better version of it. Ruby, Sammy, well, Ruby and the shittiest Sammy, and then Mountain Splitter. And Sammy and Mountain Splitter are basically just team speed holders. Yeah, like there's no strategy to a fucking alt. But I get it, man, that like since they exist, of course I have to play around them. Meaning like every single node, I'm thinking, hey, there's a chance I could get alted. Just like every single fight, I'm thinking like, hey, there's a chance this could miss on Harden. Like, don't think I don't have like in my mind like, what if it misses? Oh, then I'm gonna do this, and what if it lands? Then I don't have to worry about doing this. Like, of course I play. I play the cards that I'm dealt, man. I'm just saying like. I also grow an opinion as I play games, and my opinion is one of the worst things about this game is how much chance can dictate. Especially mainly from live duels. I draw so much of it from live duels, bro. Winning live duels is like the hardest thing ever because there's too much chance that the shitty player wins. And that your win just got stolen from you because you missed on Harden. Meaning, I have no other options. I gotta do this move. If it lands, we continue to fight. But if it misses, I automatically lose. No, it doesn't make it more strategic. Taking out Harden and Tough makes it more strategic. I mean, I get what you mean. Playing around things, sure. I completely understand that you think that it takes player skill to play around things, and I'm just saying that, like, winning is winning. Adam, I still fucking win even though there's chance in the game. Like, you're not listening to a loser tell you that chance doesn't belong in the game. You're listening to somebody who beats fucking ass in any game that, you know, I go into. Like, and I'm telling you right now that chance is not helping me. It's helping my opponent. I don't need chance to beat you. I'll beat you because I'm better than you. That's why I wish chance could just go take a walk in the park and let me play my game. So should Dazed and Blind be taken out of the game? They are chance. Absolutely not. If you cast Dazed or Blind, I mean, I guess I would say that I wish they could just be changed to where, I mean, I wish Dazed was total blind. I wish Blind was total blind all the time. Like, I wish they all meant the same thing. I wish they just meant you miss. Instead of there's a chance you miss. Because to me, that's what they already are. Meaning, if you daze me in live duels, I just consider myself total blind and maybe I'll get lucky and land. But if I'm dazed, I'm not expecting to land anymore. I'm treating it like I just got total blind. I'm playing my game like I just got total blind. Because from my experience, I'm fucking total blind. Like, that's just the way it works. And then, hey, I got lucky. I landed on your guy, but I wasn't expecting to. Why? Because I was fucking total blind in my mind. Like, that's the game that I currently play. I wish this game would be more free to play because these pay to play think they got skills. I think this game is fine. I feel like both are at a victim. Meaning, I don't think pay to play have anything to spend their money on. I don't think free to play have anything to grind. I mean, like, I don't think free-to-play have anything to play, and I don't think pay-to-play have anything to buy. Like, so I feel like they're both getting ripped off in a way. Like, I wish there was some dungeon that you could do, like, every 10 minutes that was infinite, and at the end there was a chance you could get, like, fucking, I don't know, something good to where free-to-play could sit there all day long for 12 hours and play that same fucking dungeon over and over and over again, and spenders couldn't because they didn't have that 12 hours in a day free time to be able to play it. But then what they could do was just log online, go into the shop, and buy the same shit that was in the dungeon. Like, I wish it worked that way, but it doesn't. But hey, man, I didn't make this game. I just play it. So we have to go with the cards we're dealt sometime. Meaning, like, if chance is in the game, we're going to continue to do what Adam is talking about, and we're going to continue to play around it. Meaning, we're going to continue to, every time, look at it as like, hey, man, we're dazed. There's a chance this could land, but it's most likely not going to. So what are we going to do when it misses? And we play like that, and then it lands, and we're like, oh, wow, that just made everything so much easier because I wasn't expecting it to land. And I built my whole strategy after that move based off it not landing, and it landed. So, yeah, and it's just called playing around it, man. That's all it is. It's called playing around it. Meaning I play around alts, I play around Harden, I play around chance. It just doesn't mean that I don't have the opinion that I wish it was gone. How would you make the game more free to play? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good question because I really don't understand. That's like, look at the maze. Look at the 2-day maze, Adam. The one for like Cat UFO. Free to play cried so bad they nerfed it for Armel. That made me disgusted to be a free to play. I felt just ugh. I felt like the game literally just said free to play or weak, loser, little ass bitches, here, we need to give them a handout because they're going to quit playing because they're crybabies. Like, I felt awful to see that happen. No, I haven't. I was supposed to watch it, but I went ahead and started streaming as soon as I got back home, so I haven't seen it yet, but everybody keeps telling me to watch it. I will watch it for sure. It's not like I'm avoiding watching it. I've just been busy. Like, I could watch it on a secondary phone, but that's not really fair to you guys. And I'm not using, like, I'm still doing everything on my phone, so it's not like you gotta remember, dude, these people like Wubby and shit, they're playing on computers, bro. Like, I'm a mobile phone player. Meaning, that's another thing that I don't think people realize is that I play mobile games now. I'm done with consoles. I'm done with computer. It's mobile for me. Meaning I play everything on my phone. I stream on my phone. I play on my phone. I edit on my phone. Everything is done on my phone. I'm not going to my computer. If it requires me going to my computer, I'm done. Like, to me, evolution in technology has happened, and the phone is the future. And probably VR is the future after that. But I don't feel like backtracking to a computer jail cell where I gotta stay strapped to a seat all day playing a fucking game. No, man. I like the freedom to be able to play Monster Legends while I take a shit. Like, I couldn't do that before when I was 16. I couldn't play my game and take a shit at the same time. I mean, I guess I could have, but it would have been way more difficult. So, like, I don't have OBS or whatever it is, that where I can do multiple streams and put it on my screen and shit. I have not figured out how to do half the things that people can do on their phones yet. So I definitely got a lot to learn in that department. But, like, if I could, I'd put it up in, like, the top left corner of my stream where we could watch that video while we still did this gauntlet. It just doesn't work that way for me. Have you guys watched Wubby's baiting video yet? Did he at least cover the turtle speed? The reason why I use turtle speed? I mean, I'm not the first one to come up with baiting. If you go back to my original gauntlet videos, baiting was suggested to me by someone in the comments, but out of all these people who do gauntlet or think they're good at gauntlet, none of them were baiting before me. Like, you're not going to find any evidence of anyone baiting before me. Like, I mean, that's like, I was definitely the first one baiting the gauntlet. I mean, there were people who baited before me. They're the ones who told me in the comments that, like, hey, you can use, like, a monster with a relic and life runes. And, hey, next video we were. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a troll video. Oh, we're just making funny about the pun? I forgot to rune heal my bomb. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Adam. He did baiting in the Nemesis dungeon, but yet he sucks too bad to even be able to play in the gauntlet. Just like that rune healing that I figured out, that also works in the Nemesis dungeon, meaning you telling me all these kids played for all those years in the Nemesis dungeon and didn't know you could rune heal? Yeah, meaning absolutely, Adam. I'm not saying that I invented baiting. I'm saying I'm the first one who was using it in the gauntlet. That actually puts up content. Meaning the people who were using it in the gauntlet that, were using it in the gauntlet before me were people who don't make content, who weren't trying to brag anywhere that they were good at the gauntlet. Like, yeah, I don't doubt it at all, man. Why did you not trait disable with Tabora? Oh, because I don't want to get punched by Dr. Watts, bro. I forgot to rune heal my Bombetta before the node. So I wanted to be able to reduce this Dr. Watts as much as possible. It works on mutant runes. Also. And who would want to use life runes? And I'm talking about back when there wasn't a one team fits all, dude. You got to remember, Nemesis Dungeon is solved now. Like, runes don't even fucking matter, really. It's just relics. Bro, you got to try to keep it low-key about rune healing so Monster Legends doesn't remove it because some spender is going to see this and complain. No, man. That's not how you deal with it. If that's the way you see it, then you deserve to be banned for exploiting. Like, come on, bro. Like that. I believe in encouraging everyone to be able to use whatever is given to them to the best of their abilities. If it's taken away, it's taken away. If it's not taken away, it's not taken away. If it's taken away, we'll learn another way around, bro. Like, if it didn't exist, we would have probably been using triple Uriel sooner. I need to pay attention to what's going on. I don't have any of these guys cursed yet, so I'm going to go for the trait disable now. I want to check. We still do got the relic trigger. Yeah, it's kind of strategy, but at the same time, it's really just manipulating the fact that they got the game set to save stats at 100. But like I was saying, it's been there for years and no one was doing it. Ah, Adam, bro. Like, what it also means that he just doesn't have the audacity to admit he sucks at it. Like, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to put the time into having to learn new things on the game. Yeah. Well, then you suck, bro. Like, like, that's like saying like, oh, I just don't have the time to play the game, so I don't play the game. Well, then what the fuck you make videos for playing the game for then? Like, come on, bro. Not like Armor's problem, in my opinion, when it comes to the gauntlet, is he has a problem with doing anything that other people are doing. Meaning he doesn't like to be called a copycat. Like it hurts his feelings if you call him a copycat. So he refuses to play with monsters like Kodama because everyone else is playing with Kodama. Shit like that. That's why I think he's behind in the damn game. Yeah, bro, he's not good. Like, he's not bad either. He's not a bad player, but I mean, he's good at YouTube. He's got 70,000 subs last time I checked, bro. He's a nice guy. He makes quality content. He's an amazing help when you first start playing. Like, even I learned a lot from watching Armor when I first started playing. But after you watch Armor long enough, eventually you're just screaming, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, and that's when it's time to move on. You say, what evidence? I asked, oh, what evidence? Yeah, what evidence? What are you talking about, Adam? What evidence? He is a good place for newbies. Absolutely, for sure. I watched a video of IG. He likes Kodama. Um, Bro, did you not watch the video where he tried to say that Lindworm, Tabora, Bombetta is a good gauntlet team? Did you not watch the video where he tried to say there is no best gauntlet team? Like, there's definitely a best gauntlet team, bro. Like, if you don't think there's a best gauntlet team, you're fucking retarded. Fucking Tabora, Kodama, Shelly is the best gauntlet team. It's not even close. Dude's over here like, I'm going to use Lindworm, Tabora, and Bombetta, and it's an awesome team, guys. And you're telling all these people this bad information. Have you done? Are you done with race yet? Basically, I'm just along to help as much as I can. No, it doesn't get beat by Triple Uriel. What the fuck, bro? Triple Uriel is not better than STK. It's not. You're never going to explain to me how it is because it's not. Give me fucking Shelly. I'll beat the goddamn gauntlet every single fucking day. Easy as pie. We're on 90 some laps. The S stands for Shelly, the T stands for Tabora, and the K stands for Kodama. You got people like Pure All you got people like Pure All that were beating the gauntlet before like Shelly was released, and he wasn't using triple Uriels to do it, meaning Pure All uses Lindworm as a fucking bait monster, bro. He puts a fucking Uriel essence on him and a pump seed staff on him and lets a monster hit him once and drain all of its stamina. He die, come back, and another monster hit him and drain all of its stamina. Like, yes, you're definitely fucking retarded if you think backwards Tabora will replace Kodama. It's a welfare version of Kodama, meaning if you don't own Kodama, backwards Tabora is good, but so's fucking Manny. Manny's fucking good if you don't own Kodama. Like, people underestimate fucking Manny. Manny can AoE nanovirus drain everyone, and then when you AoE possess them, you can possess them a fucking again because they didn't get immunity to possession. Lindworm's good. He's good on triple Uriel. He's also good on a 6-team speed. Meaning you could put 6-team speed and run Manny first and just like turn transfer to something if you don't have Kodama. Like fucking maybe you got Henrich. Like I was just talking to Zizu the other day. He doesn't have all the newer cosmics or whatever, so he's having trouble in the gauntlet. And it's basically like trying to tell him like, look bro, use your Henrich. Like I didn't get as far as telling him like just run 3-team speed on Henrich, 3-team speed on Tabora, and then 3 speed on Lindworm and just turn transfer to Henrich AoE CDA and then be able to revert on Henrich turn 3 to do it again. But it does when you consider the over game. No. I don't understand what do you mean over game. I'll tell you right now, backwards Tabora is a fucking bait monster, bro. If you're good at the gauntlet and you don't miss monsters, meaning you own every monster that came out because there's no reason not to. Backwards Tabora is a bait monster in the gauntlet, and it's never going to be shit in PvP, just like Kodama's not shit in PvP, unless you're going against people who don't have the same gear as you. Kodama can't even beat Megataunt. Meaning, if you're going to say, yeah, well, you just use something like Tabora, okay, so you're telling me you need both your Tabora and your Kodama to be faster than your opponent's, win condition. Like, that's too much. Deciding who to invest in for majority of players. Well, I don't recommend investing in backwards Tabora when you get it rank 3 for free. I recommend you go do your PvP and pay attention to your eggs. That's what I recommend. So that you get the monster rank 3 for free. I recommend to anyone to invest in Kodama. There's no better gauntlet monster than Kodama. Investment-wise, like, the rest don't require much investment-wise. Like, sure, Tabora is better than Kodama in the Gauntlet because of more team builds with it, but that's what I meant why it replaces Kodama. It doesn't replace Kodama anywhere at all, period. It's for people who don't own Kodama. If you have Kodama and you're going to tell me that this monster's better, then I don't need to listen to you because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, is what I tell these players, man. It's that simple. Like, the same people that are going to argue you that it's a replacement, they're not beating the fucking gauntlet, are they? So they don't really know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like listening to Armor Claw tell you what's fucking good, or Armor Gaming tell you what's fucking good. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. Like, if I want to know... He tried to tell me the fucking Cat UFO's maze wasn't possible free to play. The guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. There's a lot of those players in this game, bro. This game is so full of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, if I listen to half the motherfuckers that try to tell me how to play, I wouldn't be as good as I am. How I got to be as good as I am is telling everybody else, nah, I'll do it my own way. Nah, I'm not going to listen to you. Nah, you know what the fuck you're talking about. And that's how I got so good at the game. You have to admit you're in a unique spot where you can play the game 24 hours a day. Absolutely, Adam. Absolutely. But I'm not the one who needs to admit that. I'm not the one who needs to admit that. My haters are. The people who need to admit that, that's what my channel is for, though, Adam. You don't have to watch my channel for 24 hours a day. I'm not keeping secrets, bro. If I figure anything out that helps me, I share it in my video. Meaning I have absolutely not one part of me that's trying to withhold information from you guys so that I can use it for myself and not share it with you. You're missing... that's not true. I think that someone will come along and can take what I give and go farther with it. Why? Because they didn't have to make the same mistakes as me. Meaning, like, if you watch me play and fuck up, then you could go and play and not fuck up. Like, say you watch me play the Gauntlet, and then you see what I do, and you see me mess up, and then you go and play the Gauntlet, and you don't make the same mistake. Why? Because you watched me make it, so now you know not to make it. Yeah, there might even be free-to-play better than me. I just don't know who they are yet. Whereas, like, when it comes to actual player skill, the game, it's hard to really see player skill. I mean, it's more of a chore duty. Like, did you do your chores or did you not do your chores? It's like, oh, he did his chores. Okay, cool. So he's got more shit than you. Like, it's really hard to determine who's good and who's bad. I don't think time is the biggest thing on this game. That's why I play this game, is because it's not time dependent, Adam. You may think I have all the time in the world to play Monster Legends. The problem is Monster Legends ain't that fucking fun. Meaning I still enjoy my day. That's why I play Monster Legends, is because I can get away with only playing 2 hours a day. Now when it comes race time, I play a lot longer than 2 hours a day. But let's say, a week after race. So, yeah, that's only during race, Adam. You are completely missing a point. Yeah, that's pretty much all I play. There's nothing else to do in a day besides Infinite Gauntlet. So if you're checking in a week after race, I'm playing an hour and a half a day in the Gauntlet, and sometimes I try to PvP for like an hour a day, but I don't always accomplish it. And then I spend at least 20 minutes doing my chores a day. So on average, I would say I get away with under 4 hours play on a normal day. Whereas if I played another game, I couldn't do that, Adam. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. Meaning, like, I used to play RuneScape. RuneScape, I had to sit on my phone for 16 straight hours playing every fucking day. Every day. Meaning my woman would have to be like, hey, I need you to go do this or that. And I'd be like, come on, I'm busy. Because if I had to put my phone down for an hour to go do something else, that was an hour that somebody was catching up to me. Or that was an hour that I wasn't catching up to somebody else. This game is not that way. This game is chores. This game is log in, do your chores, and log out. There's definitely people richer than Jeff Bezos. For sure there is. There's like, what people don't realize is that's on paper money. There's no law in a country you own that says you have to tell how much you're worth. Meaning, if I own a country, I don't have to tell you shit. Like, these people that, Jeff Bezos, they're on government paper. That's why you know how much money they have. It's the law that you know how much money they have. You go to some crazy country where some guy's, been selling oil for fucking, his family's been selling oil for fucking hundreds of years, and they've got millions and billions and trillions of dollars buried in a fucking dirt. And they don't have to tell you shit about it. They don't have to tell you how much money they have. Oh yeah, towards the tasks to get free gems. Absolutely, they take a long time, bro. You are absolutely right about that. So if me doing tasks counts as me playing Monster Legends, yeah, there's plenty of days where I play 12 hours a day, bro. Because there's plenty of days where I've got a second phone running a task on slots, on auto spin, while I'm doing other shit. It's just like chilling in my bed, and sometimes like I'll forget about it. I'll be making dinner or something, and then I come back in and it's paused on some screen like you got to click this or click that because you opened up a mini game because you got a bonus spin or some shit. But yeah, and then there's times where I forget about it for a couple of hours. Like there was one time I up my bet and forgot about it, and then I walked my woman to work, and I came back and was like, oh my god, I'm probably broke because I totally forgot I raised my bet. And I run to the phone that was laying on the bed, and it was rich as fuck. It won a ton of money while I was away. So like, yeah, that definitely is something that you can't expect all free to play to do. But at the same time, bro, when I was 16, I played video games like none of you all could imagine then, if that's your way of thinking. Meaning, me right now wouldn't have shit on me at 16 playing video games, bro. I had a robot play for me while I was at school. Like, I played all day from the time the bus dropped me off to the time the bus picked me up, and I slept at school. Like, you guys have no idea the extent of, if you care, you will play. You will find a way to make the time, or you don't care. It's that simple. But when it comes to somebody looking at what I do free to play and being able to do it themselves, of course they can. It's just gonna, like you said, it's gonna take time. I don't think it's all about gems. What the hell do I spend the gems on? Somebody could just, it's about bills. I think most are adults / kids. Damn, LJ was on the grind before most of us were born. Absolutely, bro. I've been playing video games since I was like fucking 5. I got my first Nintendo when I was like 8. At least I think so anyway. I might have got it sooner than that. But back then they didn't have no internet. They like, if you wanted to play a game you didn't play before, you had to get your parents to buy you a whole game, or you had to go like find somebody down the block and be like, look, I'll let you borrow this game if you let me borrow that game. And if you didn't beat the game in one sitting, you had to start over tomorrow because there was no save. You couldn't save fucking games. There was nothing like that on Nintendo. Eventually, they found a way to put the battery in the cartridge. I think Zelda. That's what made Zelda so famous, was you could save. At least I think, if my memory serves me correct, maybe it was the Super Nintendo was the first one to put the battery in. You gotta remember, guys, I'm getting old. My brain is like a scatter fart sometimes. But yeah, we've definitely been on the grind for a really long time. I've also, like I've tried to say a bunch of times, Monster Legends is not a time-consuming game. It's really not. Meaning, if you think Monster Legends takes a lot of time to play, you won't ever make it nowhere on some of those like big MMOs. They require you to play every minute you're fucking awake. And you don't have nothing, no time for life, or you're not competitive. Meaning, if you got even 1 minute to do something in real life, then you're not competitive. Monster Legends isn't even a grinding game, it's a waiting game. Oh yeah, bro, but at the start, it's so much fun. Dude, Monster Legends was a blast the first 2 months, bro. A fucking blast. I played like 10 hours a day when I first started on Monster Legends. Easy. Easy. Played 10 hours a day when I first started on Monster Legends. Not anymore, bro. Only during race time, and that's it. Race time, and this race has only been like 8 hours when I raced, not 10. Whereas last race I played a 30-some hour stream straight. Your breeding log is crazy. Who, my breeding log? Most of my breeding was all done when I was a noob, bro. Yeah, but most of this breeding was from my first 2 months playing, Adam. When I first started, I thought gems were extremely valuable. So before I even had 2 breeders, when I only had 1 breeder and no guardian, I was top 5K'ing the breed event and getting 25 gems. How I was doing that is I would make pandas for 10 hours, bro. And I thought I didn't realize that I was wasting my life. I thought I was like getting ahead. Like being able to sell a panda for 3,000 gold and spend that on farming food, I felt rich. I was so rich in the beginning, bro. Like, I would sit there and fucking bang them out. Now I'm like, they can keep their 25 gems. Breeding ain't that cool. But that's the whole point of the channel, Adam, is I play video games all day. I want to share with you guys what I learned so that you don't have to play all fucking day to figure it out. Some people got to go to work, man. They can't be sitting there playing a fucking game all day. So those people who got to go to work and can't play a game all day, guess what? I should be the guy that can help you. You just going to go turn on my channel for a little while and be like, oh shit, this is what's going on. All right, cool. Thanks, Lost Jumper. I'm going to go fucking buy this monster and that monster and beat some ass now. It just gets annoying when they don't give credit where credit's due, that's all. Would you say is a good channel name? Especially when you went to the food and gold dungeon. It felt like you got millions. Oh yeah, bro. Like, that's another one. True, like the food dungeon, I don't even do it anymore. Yeah, that's what I want to do, Clorox. That's the whole point. That's the goal, really, of the channel. The goal of the channel is to be able to bridge that gap to where you guys play through me instead of against me. I play games all day or whatever you said. Yeah, I wish. But I spend a lot of time fucking on Discord these days. I feel like I spend more time on Discord than I do on Monster Legends. Like, I'm sure some people can relate there. Monster Legends is not really time consuming, man. Like you said, it is when you first start, but it dies off. It turns into chores, bro. It's just chores, chores, chores. Like this stream. Have I been playing or have I just been running my mouth? We've played for 15 minutes out of a fucking 2-hour stream, bro. It's just me running my mouth with the game in the background as we wait. Like, it's not like if I was playing some other game, I wouldn't have been able to talk for these 2 hours because I would have had to, like, my fingers would have constantly been having to do something. There wouldn't have been an opportunity for them to not be doing something. That's what's cool about Monster Legends is you can go ahead and put your egg in the hatch, put your egg in the ranker, collect your gold, collect your food, feed your monster, and put your phone down and go do something for 2 hours and then come back and be like, oh, cool, I can do a PvP again. I can collect my food again. I collect my gold again and then log back out again. That's what makes it a unique game to me. I've never played too many games like that. I don't have an Ixalan's Essence to come. I have crafted one, bro. I crafted one back when I used to use Taini and PvP all the time because I couldn't craft a Taini's amulet, so the only other way around it was to craft the Ixalan's Essence, so that way I could gain stamina that way for my Taini, because it was too important to not be able to trait disable, meaning if somebody's stamina drained me, that shut down my ability to be able to trait disable, so I'd be fucked. So it got to be a very valuable relic, and that's why I crafted it. You should try to find if there's another free-to-play player that is close to you. Zayd thinks he's better, so I mean, that's one goalpost we got nearby. Supposedly the leader of Great Guys, the team that's like first, is free-to-play. Yeah, this Great Guys team that just did 254 laps, the leader of it's free-to-play. But yeah, man, I think I'm pretty close to just running away from the free-to-play. The Hyperia farm should basically just be taking me to the next step. Like the other day I was looking at Zayd's account and like he's got so many monsters that are like level 4 and 5, and I mean I know the feeling. It's called can't fucking afford to farm the food. Like I've been dealing with that myself for a long time and I'm trying to get away from it. That was the whole point of saving gems for fucking 10 months. Is there was no reason to spend them. I'd always talk about spending them on flash ranks, but I could never really find the monster to get serious about. Like I wanted to flash rank Black Feather to rank 5 when he came out, but the problem was I didn't unlock Thunder Kong or I would have. So not having Thunder Kong was like, why the fuck do I want to rank monsters on this page that I can't get any rewards for when I could spend the same Stardust ranking monsters over here that are going to reward me 9 through 10s, and it just ruined it for me. Yeah, but that's the thing, bro. It's like I just gave Zayd and Zizu shit about that the other day. As they came in my Discord bragging about being on like fucking round 3 of Pump Seed. And it's like, you guys realize that you're just free to play, getting handouts on a frat team. You're not fucking shit. Like, I catch shit. Meaning, if I'm on a team and they get a bunch of frats, I'm a bum. I got a bunch of free shit. But if I'm on a team and they don't get a bunch of frats, I'm a bum. I cry they didn't get enough shit on their team. Like, I can't win. It's lose-lose for me, bro. Is that real free to play? Sure. It's just like, I mean, is Monster Woods real free to play? I don't feel fucking free to play getting gems from a task. That does not feel free to play to me. That feels like I fucking worked for nickels on a dollar and it's like I worked in a t-shirt factory and they paid me in gems. Like, if I give LJ $50 to buy gems, that's pay to win. That's definitely pay to play, bro. Like, buying gems is pay to play. But if they put up an event right now that said spend $50 and everyone on your team gets gems, that's free to play because the developers of the game made it that way. Yeah, like I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but it's how it is. Meaning They could get rid of teams for all I give a fuck, Adam. They could delete teams from the game, bro, and I wouldn't lose no fucking sleep. It's dumb to me too, bro, but it still counts as free to play. Like, trust me, like, it doesn't sit well with me either, man. And then I don't know, like, these free to play, like somebody like Zayd or Zizu, they've been playing so much longer than me, bro. Like, Zayd's been playing a year longer than me. I don't know what frats I missed. I just know that a couple of months ago I made my point that, look, these motherfuckers ain't nothing but race monsters, meaning their teams are race monsters. And I've been on teams where I don't even get the race monsters. So now that I'm getting rank 4s, it's only a matter of time until I'm going to catch them and pass them. And then if you look at their accounts and my accounts, bro, I unlock every single free-to-play monster that comes out. I'm ranking all the book pages. These motherfuckers look like they all be like, oh, I had tests, or I took a break from the game, or I didn't play last month. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck what the story is. Top players make a new account and transfer. They are best free to play. I don't see any of them. I mean, they can think they're the best free to play, Adam, but I don't think you're transferring shit to be better than me. I think I'll beat up your fucking transfer account. That's how I feel. I don't give a fuck. Who is a top player on this game, bro? So if Pix is gonna make a free to play, like, Pix is probably one of the better players that I can think of. If Pix is gonna make a fucking free to play account, like, bring it, bro. Bring it. Like, I know what it takes to play free to play. There's a lot of sacrifice involved. Once you start thinking about a buyout button, it's really hard to think around a buyout button. It's like poison. How long have you been playing? I've been playing a year. I started last October. So, like, a little over a year now, because October's almost over. And then you guys got to figure that the way this game works is I started with the upside down pyramid method, so it's going to grow exponentially. What do you mean, like, am I working in real life? Yeah, bro, I'm working on walking my dog. You've made double my progress in the same time. Yeah, but at the same time, though, alright, this isn't my first game. Alright, the game I just played before this one, Dungeon Boss, guys, it's a clone game of this. Meaning, when I started this game, it wasn't like I just started this game. It was like I was playing Dungeon Boss, but a new update to it. Like, if that makes any sense to me, I brought with me tons of knowledge from a game that was similar. I just wish they didn't kill PvP. I liked it better when we were trying to grind to get into, like, I wish if they'd have never killed PvP, we would have probably already been top 100 by now, because we would have been more serious about making top 100. Whereas right now, there's absolutely no reason to make top 100. I don't get anything more than a level 10. So the only time I'm going to care about making top 100 is when I'm almost at my goal, because I set my goal at a year and a half. I wanted to make top 100. So when we get to like a year and 5 months, I'm going to be like, all right, guys, let's devote our attention to top 100 again. And it should be easy, because we're running out of people, bro. You got to pay every week on this game. Like, you can't just buy and sit. Do you think Pump Seed is worth spending gems on? They doubled his price, didn't they? Isn't he double now? Like, wasn't he only 100 gems just the other day? And then I checked last night, and he was 200 gems. So what's going on with that? All right, Silent, bro. I'm glad you was able to come hang out and listen to us run our chaps. Yeah, guys, they doubled the price. So I really don't know. We only get 100 cells, and now it's 200 gems instead of 100 gems, so... And that's another thing, is people have always mentioned the Titan event, and I never was here for it. I never got to play it. I really wish they would bring something like that back around so that I could experience it. Lindworm was pretty crazy, bro. I think Lindworm pretty much set the bar to where now every monster I'm just like, nah, it's not as good as Lindworm. And it's been that way for a month. Longer than a month, it feels like. No, the pay monsters are the same way, bro. I still think Lindworm's better than the pay monsters. I mean, like you could argue Shelly because you can get so much value from it from the gauntlet, but Lindworm Lindworm is up here, and the other monsters are down here. Even the pay ones, like it's just how it's been, bro. Now, all right, here's a better example. When I played Dungeon Boss, they came out with a monster called Shade, and they made Shade pay to play only. Meaning there was no way to get it free to play. And that monster fucking dominated the game. Meaning that monster was too fucking good compared to all the other monsters. It was broken better. And the only way you could have it was to spend. And then eventually they brought this like way you could get it in the game for like 9,000 gems. And I was saving up to get it. And then they made it free to play, and I was able to get it free to play without having to spend all those gems. But I was so close. I was like a month away from spending 9,000 gems. I was up to like 7,000 saved gems, and I needed 9,000. I was going to buy that motherfucker. Yeah, I do think that Shelly is the best monster in spend encouragement since I've been playing. But eventually it won't appear that way because everyone will be beating the gauntlet, and the gauntlet will just be 500 dust, 480 dust a day in everyone's mind. Meaning, this time 1 year from now, it's not going to be hard for anyone really. Oh yeah, I don't think anyone regrets ranking Lindworm, bro. Have I deleted Dungeon Boss? I've never even installed it on his phone. Dungeon Boss has been like gone for a while. Like I bought a new phone and never installed it on his phone. But do you mean like do I still have my account information? Sure. I have 17,000 gems on my Dungeon Boss account. I just haven't played it in over a year. Probably closer to 2 years now. Yeah, I beat Vanos bases all the time now. Max Vanos with 16 speed is not faster. At 16 speed and 1 speed is not faster than my Lindworm, Madame, and Fastla team anymore. Not after ranking Lindworm. I still don't have him 150 though. Someone had said this was a good node to get your Uriel team weak. I'm not worried about it anymore. I think we're just going to push till we get so deep that the monster's just going to rape our Uriel team so we can switch without fear. Like node 52 plus. I'm only focused on Gauntlet. So to me, my most valuable, like I rank all the book rewards to rank 2, and then I use Tabora is going to be first on the list, Lindworm second on the list, Kodama third on the list, Bombetta fourth on the list, Black Feather fifth on the list, and yeah, those are my main dudes. I think the first monster I have 0 rank 5s. I don't own any rank 5s at all. I don't even have an upgraded lab to be able to make a rank 5. But I think Tabora will be the first one I rank 5. I have no intentions of ranking her at all. She's good per monster, bro. I'll be able to use her in the gauntlet versus like Mega Taunt nodes, so that way I can I can send in bait, and then I can send in the race monster, Tabora and Kodama, and use the race monster to per extra turn, drop dots, then use Tabora to trait disable, then use Kodama to drain. Are you going to rank up Chrysler to rank 5? Absolutely not. There's no need to rank Chrysler to rank 5 unless you're a spender. Chrysler is an amazing monster at rank 3. He doesn't get any stronger going to rank 5. So I feel no need to rank him to 5. I feel like he's a free-to-play warrior. Meaning if somebody was free-to-play and they were like, who's a good free-to-play attacker? I think Chrysler's like one of the best free-to-play attackers in a game. Because you can put team speed runes on him and still remove 50% of the enemy's life, gain 50% life. You can remove 90% life from a Megataunt while wearing team fucking speed runes. That's just... It opens up so many windows for being able to compete against money without having money. So just because mine's not ranked up, don't underestimate that he's still way up in my value list. You are a best free-to-play in my opinion. I'm also a middle-aged bum, bro. Meaning it would be more impressive if the person I was competing against, you know, say, hey, look, I'm the best free-to-play. And they're like, no, you're not. I am. If they were only 14, then I'd give huge props. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, like, I've been through a lot of shit. I've learned a lot of shit in the game. But I'm still the king of misplays, bro. I don't have good focus. Meaning if I'm not the guy who beats a boss very easily. Meaning I usually fuck up. When you put me under pressure, I'm quick to make a mistake. Whereas there's got to be somebody better who can play better, who's more focused, who doesn't make as many mistakes, who can, like, I don't know. I don't think I'm the best free-to-play. I just think that I'm, I don't know, the most vocal free-to-play. The person who's probably the best free-to-play might be a little shy. So you might not know who they are. I might not know who they are. Yeah, middle-aged bum, bro. Like, straight up. Like, you don't, like, it crosses my mind all the time. Like, if I am the best free-to-play, don't you think Social Point knows it? Like, don't you think Social Point types into their little computer, like, which free-to-play is benefiting the most from the new update? Or which free-to-play is taking advantage of the most Stardust? Or which free-to-play is leveling up the most farms at the fastest? Or which free-to-play is making the most gold? Like, don't you think they ever stop and ask those questions because they're trying to measure their product? Like, when they say free-to-play aren't able to do the maze, they type in their computer, like, did any free-to-play complete the maze? You know, like, or how far did free-to-play get in the maze? You don't think they do that at all? I think they care a lot about free-to-play, just not long-term free-to-play. I think they care about new players. New players being... They sell their game as a free game, bro. They sell it as a free game. Meaning they call it a free-to-play game. I think they put a lot of time into free-to-play. I just don't think it's late-game free-to-play. I think, like, that's why, look at the past monsters, like when Slug came out. Everybody screamed they don't care about free-to-play. Look at Slug. I'm telling you right now, if you were a brand new player who had only been playing for 2 weeks and they gave you Slug, they cared really high about you, bro. Like, I think Social Point cares a lot about new free-to-play players. I just don't think they care about old players. I think they know people who've been playing their game for a while don't spend fucking money. People who just started playing spend money. That's what I think. I haven't put my essence on tabora, I don't think, so we might actually get stuck having to charge. Nice, man, huh? Sometimes I'm nice, bro. Usually I'm just a dick. So you're probably one of those players who's like stuck in the game just because you put so much time into it. I've met people like that in teams, man, where I'll be like, why are you in this shitty team? And they'd be like, I've been in this team for 3 months. It's like, okay. So why are you still in a team that fucking loses? Oh, man. Some people just, you get stuck. Relationships are the same way sometimes, bro. You can meet a girl and be like, oh, I like this girl. And then you realize you don't like her. And then you still fucking with her because you just don't know any other way. It happens. There was a time when free-to-play could do card flip events round 3. Who's still getting the offer for 99 cents? I don't know what you're talking about. What offer for 99 cents? I still haven't bought my starter chest for like 85 gems or whatever it is since the beginning of the game. You guys know like what this starter chest that I'm talking about? It's like in the shop that they've been trying to sell since like you start playing the game. I still haven't bought that motherfucker. I don't think any of them gets a turn, but we get to charge all our guys, and then I think I'm gonna put that essence on Tabora so that it doesn't get awkward, but is it really necessary? I don't know yet. It's gonna cost me 3.4 million gems to take the essence off of Tabora and then put the essence back on Tabora. So I might just try to play with it off and see how well we can do. I really just want to save gold, guys. Like, I got all this Hyperia I need to feed. And more importantly than Hyperia at the moment, I need to feed my Nemesis extra monsters that I'm supposed to be extracting so that I can rank my Nemesis monsters. Same thing with those Forsakens. I need to feed like the extra Wild Bird, the extra Thundeer, or else I'm never going to get them to rank 1 because I won't have the cells. Best Mythic Lindworm. You mean best basic Mythic? Blaz. Or I mean you could even argue Day, since the game is Sandbag and Megataunt for some reason. Yeah, if you told me like Lost Jumper you can have any basic mythic in the game right now, who would it be? I'd say give me a Blaz. And then I'd spend 7,000 dust on them. Or I mean 7,000 amber. I mean, because like the last thing you want's an attacker or something that needs to be fast. Basically, I just want a support or a tank when looking at the mythics. Yeah, bro, that sounds sweet. You birthday lucky motherfucker. Whose birthday was it? Yours or theirs? Jesus. I don't have that kind of luck, bro. I am not a lucky player. I will definitely be the first one to tell you that I am not a lucky player. It's very annoying if someone says, "You're so lucky." It's like, no, I'm not. Shut the hell up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Dude, I can imagine, bro. I bet you're stoked. Sometimes those days can be damaging, though. Like, on the days where the most magical shit in the world happens to you, it can be pretty sad if you don't have people to share it with. Meaning, if, like, something amazing happens to you and you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to tell everybody. And you're like, but wait, who's everybody? Who do I talk to? I don't have enough friends. That can suck. All right, so what do we got here? 17.3. So this is a first, like, node. But thankfully we're faster than everybody, so we can just work around the traits, I think. He doesn't even have Harden. Neither of them do. And he's honestly not that fast, so... Or are you talking from experience, whom? Oh, yeah, bro. I've definitely had time in my life where shit that's so awesome has happened to me that I didn't have nobody to share it with. Yeah, for sure, bro. Wait, we on a new node. Joint effort is ranked Friedel. Yeah, I can't really help much with Friedel, but I'll try. I gotta breed a Friedel first. Thanks for the tip, though. I just hope I'm not gonna look and see do your part something like rank legends, and I'll be like, no. All right, a level 4 rune. I can't make runes because I got 7-hour wait on my level 10. Son of a bitch. How many points did I get in race? 19k, but I'm trying to get to 20 before the race is over. I need 250 more. And it starts with making a Friedel. There it is. We made a Friedel. So in 6 minutes, I can check back to rank his ass up because I got tons of cells. Alright, now let's smash on these mother truckers. This is also the worst race that I've ever had, Adam. It, like... There were no rank Hyperia quests. There were no feed Hyperia quests. Like, are you going to continue in TNT Nation? Yeah, I mean, TNT Nation's alright for now. It gets annoying on War sometimes, though, but... Especially, like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I get lazy and slack off a lot in War. So I don't always make max coins when I could have made max coins. And I also get alted sometimes when I'm so pissed off that I don't get my coins because I get alted. But when our team loses to a war where I'm like, dude, I could have beat anyone on the whole entire 30 of their team and our team lost to them, it doesn't make me happy to be on the team. And that's the truth, man. It makes me think, like, fuck, what the hell am I doing? These motherfuckers suck. But it's not everyone. Like, you got people on our team that try and they do better than me during War, but... I mean, there's only so many fucking reasons to be on teams. Like, you get war coins, you get monsters. Aside from that, I mean, maybe, like, there's probably people out there who, don't get me wrong, there's probably people out there who are on teams to make friends. I'm not one of those people. I don't join teams to make friends. I can give a fuck less about making friends. I'm just trying to play a game and get better at the game I play. I don't see it that way at all, bro. I think they need to upgrade. There's a difference. There's a reward for being a master of the infinite gauntlet. There is no fucking reward for being a master of war. Like, put something in that team shop worth getting, bro, and I'll beat everyone at war. Like, that's the way I play. Like, trust me, I went up against Unknown Error in War, and I got my 18 coins, and I took someone defense, bro, using level 6 runes. Versus 150s and 140 Vanoses and shit. Like, a whole pay-to-play team, basically. Like, if it mattered to me, I could do good in War. Don't think I couldn't. I never once said, oh, I suck at War. I just said, War sucks. Like, there's a big difference. If they put, like, a new cosmic monster that was like a cosmic war master, and the only way to get it was to, like, spend 1,000 gold coins and 2,000 silver coins for 10 cells, I'd be all over that shit. I'd be trying to get in a top war team. I'd be trying to win fucking 18 coins every fucking war and be like bitching at people like, hey, bitch, you didn't get your 18 coins. We're trying to get these fucking wins. Well, I'm trying to get this fucking monster, bro, but there's nothing like that. I spent 15,000 gold war coins getting a pump seed staff, bro. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, do this book and we'll give you a pump seed staff. I was already saving, bro. I spent them on fucking relics. That's how I became a master of the gauntlet. I was buying relics. Yeah, for real, bro. The same fucking rewards in the shop. The day I started playing, they were outdated. When I started playing this game, all the monsters in the workshop sucked. When I started, the day I started, we're talking a year ago, the day I started, all the monsters in there sucked. Here I am a year later, they're the same fucking monsters, bro. They ain't made one fucking change in a whole year. Not one change. It's time for them to put some work into upgrading that team shop. Give me a reason to do war and I'll do war. When you hear my past. Oh, bro. Nah, bro. I've definitely had adventures in my life. I've sidetracked from video games a few times, that's for sure, though. I think everything dies here. None of these guys have any traits that matter. They just have that boost. I wrote down some Gayo information just the other day. We're gonna check. I don't think this guy can one-shot me with a team speed on. But I might not even have to if I'm faster just because of Rune Guardian. $19.1. Yeah, we don't have to just because of Rune Guardian. Had I been slower because we didn't have Rune Guardian on, we would have just put one team speed on Bombetta. No, my girl doesn't play Monster Legends. Like, playing games for her is like Candy Crush, bro. She played Candy Crush. Nah, she played Dungeon Boss for a little bit, and I had her get on my team, and she hated it. She's like, I gotta log in all the time and do this dumb shit. I don't want to do it no more. Because they make you do daily quests like they do in this game. So I'd be like, and we were on the same team, so I'd always be like, babe, you haven't done your daily quest. You need to do your daily quest. She'd be like, fuck that stupid game. I don't give a shit about them stupid quests. I want to get out of the team. I don't really care if that guy punches me. I'm gonna punch him with bomb. I don't think he's gonna make it. Yeah, he ain't gonna make it. I'll punch him with bomb. I'm gonna play Monster Legends for a little while, bro. I think one good thing about Monster Legends is I might not have to just drop it. We might migrate out of it. Meaning, you'll know the end is near on Monster Legends when you see me playing another game too. Meaning I'll be like, oh yeah, I play this other game, but I still log into Monster Legends to do my chores, and then eventually the other game becomes so interesting that I don't log into Monster Legends anymore to do my chores. Got your eye on a new game? No, I don't. I've thought about going back to RuneScape, man. I still watch YouTube videos of RuneScape every once in a while, like people PK and shit. See, because that was the thing on RuneScape, bro, is I could outgrind anyone. I could outlevel anyone. I could race you to a level 99 and beat anyone there, basically. But I suck at PvP, bro. Meaning I'm basically just like a feeder. I feed the enemy, bro. I lose all the time. I work hard for my shit so that somebody else can kick my ass and take it. And that was so annoying about that game, to where I had a lot to learn, and it was pretty much mismatched phone versus PC, meaning there were like, it's impossible to do some things on your phone because PC has F keys and the phone doesn't have it. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to do, was master PvP. Meaning that's the part where I was getting with the game, was basically like, look, we're going to make videos of I suck at PvP. So if I suck, I know other people suck. So I'm going to get better, and you guys can watch me get better and learn how to get better too. So like I had thought about that. The only reason why I stopped playing RuneScape wasn't because there was anything wrong with RuneScape or anything like that. I couldn't get on the internet anymore. I was living in a parking lot, King Scooper's parking lot. And they only had free Wi-Fi, and RuneScape would not let me log in on free Wi-Fi, but Monster Legends would. And I was actually playing Skyrim Mobile, the beta version, and I was playing Monster Legends at the same time. And then I just stopped playing Skyrim because I was busy playing Monster Legends, and I just stuck with Monster Legends. Okay, well, when I moved out of the parking lot, when we got an apartment, I didn't start playing RuneScape again because I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to continue to play Monster Legends. So there was never really any reason why I stopped playing RuneScape. Everything was going good on RuneScape. I just stopped because I lost internet. How many laps? 90 some, bro. Thanks for reminding me. After this, got to go get my damn Friedel out of the thing. We're going to have to switch that essence because we didn't get a chance to charge this time. Because I'm taking these truckers out. Thanks, Kieran. I got to go get my Friedel. Hopefully it's not over yet. 6 minutes turned into too many. Shit, I forgot about the hatch. Oh, that's a good question. If I started to play RuneScape again, man, I put like 4 months into the one account. But yeah, I guess I could probably start another account. My buddy thought I was crazy for starting that account, but like my favorite game still is the same and always has been for so many years. It's Diablo 2. And I've seen that there's streamers that actually like still make Diablo 2 videos that got 30K people watching on them. Just like, damn, man, I could fuck this guy up at Diablo 2. I played it for like 17 years. And he makes videos every day. I mean, I knew everything about that game. There wasn't nothing I didn't know about that game. The life/channel goal is just to be able to play games, man. That's it. We just want to play games. I feel like when people tell you to get a job, I feel like stick your job up your ass. Like, why ain't the AI? I'm just going to sit here and wait till the AI is doing all the jobs for us. because that's what makes sense to me. Is there should be some robot doing the job. People say, "Oh, well, you don't deserve shit if you don't work for it." Like, whatever. Those are the people I'll beat up. The same way as like PvP. Like, you go work for it. I'll just beat you up and take your shit. It's like, that's why there's laws. It's not exactly. That's why we need robots, bro. Because your laws are all fake and your shit's an illusion. Really, you just got fucking people that go to work all day and lock themselves in a box and they're fucking miserable, and then they tell everybody else they should get a job. It's like, bro, look at how fucking happy you and your job are, and you're telling other people to get a job. Like, please, man, stop. Oh, shit. I worked at Taco Bell for a minute recently, bro. Like, last year, I saved up $8,000 in just a few months working there. I didn't have to buy food. I just ate all the Taco Bell food. And it worked out perfect, man. I would like take food home at night, feed my dog Taco Bell food, grind games at work. I used to. Once upon a time, I used to run a flea market for this guy. Meaning I was like, when he wasn't around, I was the boss, basically. So, like, he could basically do nothing, sit on his ass while I run the whole flea market, and I basically was like playing video games, waiting on somebody to ask me how much something was or what they wanted, and that was pretty cool. Only thing that wasn't cool is I always swore like the dude thought I was taking money, so he'd give me less money, because he'd be like, well, since you're already taking your own money without telling me about it, I'm going to give you less money. When it's like, bitch, I give you every fucking dollar these people give me. I don't keep one fucking dollar secret hidden to myself. Because there really was no, like, no way to prove whether I sold something for $10 or $20. So if somebody come up to me and they said, how much is this, lamp? I could be like, it's $10. All right, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, man, here's how much money I made. He would, I think, have this hunch inside, like, he probably sold that lamp for more than he's telling me he sold it for. He sold this shit for $700 a day, and he's only handed me $400 because he kept 3, and he's not telling me about it. Like, and then he'd be like, all right, here's $50. Like, so I was just like, I don't know, man. It was complicated, but we still got by, man. We lived in a tin can back then, like a trailer up on a hill. That's a story all by itself, too, man. Once upon a time, I rented a trailer for $300 a month, and I had to make it livable because when I first seen the trailer, it didn't have any floors in it. Meaning if you walked in the door, you could see the ground because there was no floor. And I basically put a floor in it myself, and I dug a ditch and put an electric line in and then buried it. And got that whole motherfucker set up with a wood stove in it and everything for winter. So basically, I lived in a trailer that I remodeled up, and then I stayed in that motherfucker for like a year. We lived in there, and I had internet set up in it and shit, and fucking used to play games, and that was some weird living. We also lived in a hotel for 4 months once. My dad one time got evicted when I was like 18, and he just tells me one day, he's like, so I'm moving out, and I'm moving to a friend's house, and there's not going to be enough room for you, so you and your woman are going to have to, like, find somewhere else to live. And I was just like, all right. So we moved into a hotel, and we lived in that hotel for, like, 4 months, man. It was, like, the rinky-dinkiest hotel ever, like some shit out of a horror movie, bro. It was, like, $400 a month, though. It wasn't bad. We lived right on a highway. I used to get drunk, like, every weekend there. Shit was crazy. I'm a bad drunk, by the way. I've been barred from like every single bar I've ever decided to sit in and get drunk. Oh shit. I've had my head used as a door opener before by a big 6 foot, like 300-pound fucking black guy. Dude, he straight used my head as a door opener. Threw me out on my face. Ah, shit. Those are probably better stories for my lady to tell than me to tell. She's the one who had to deal with that bullshit. I was just drunk, man. I'm one of them bad drunks. I get so drunk I end up shitting and pissing myself, and yeah, it never turns out good. Nothing good's ever come out of me being drunk, ever. Oh shit, this guy is done. I actually don't have to spend anything to rank these Friedels. Yeah, I'm surprised. I figure we'll get her in a video at 1,000, bro. That's what I figure. At 1,000, I think I can talk her into getting in front of the camera. Like, she's been in the videos before, but like, I don't know. It doesn't have a filter, I guess. If that, like, I think she's more into like Instagram pictures where she can play with fucking dog face filters and fucking the dumb shit women do these days, man. Like, whereas me trying to be real and shit, like, I don't know. I think she's a little bit more closed off than I am. Yeah, I mean, we could do that too, a Q&A. My thing was, I figured at 1,000 I would just take you for a walk in my life. Meaning everything's changed since being in the car and shit. Like, we have an apartment now, so I figured like I would do like pretty much a channel update, like a real life update. This is what's going on. This is the situation. This is how life is flowing. Like, this is where I commute to. This is how I get around. This is, basically just so you can have an understanding of who it is that you watch. Like, that's what I figured at 1,000, because there's a big difference from living in a car every day being an adventure, whereas like I never knew what to expect when I wake up in the morning. Like, I didn't know, is the car gonna start today? Is today one of those days where the fucking water pump's gonna go out while you're going 60 miles an hour down a fucking interstate? Like, crazy shit happened, bro. Like when I was living in the car and we were living on the road, dude, one time I spent my birthday weekend broke down in a fucking Krispy Kreme's donut parking lot because the water pump blew up in the car. Just straight up, like, it blew up while we were going 65 mile an hour on a fucking interstate. We had to take an off ramp, the next off ramp. The car was like sputtering and not running right, and we were able to get it to a Krispy Kreme's, and then it died. And then I investigated and realized that the serpentine belt blew off, the water pump blew out. Like, it was just a fucking wreck, man. Like, and I didn't know dick about cars really before we left on that adventure. So, I mean, I think I put a video up when we changed the alternator in the car, but I didn't put a video up when we changed the fucking the water pump. But yeah, man, we were broke down for 3 days. It took me 3 days. It took me one whole day to figure out what was wrong with the car. Meaning the first day was me trying to, like, well, okay, what's wrong? What's broke? I need a new belt? That's obvious. What's this wheel? Meaning, like, one whole wheel was busted. And I didn't have service on my phone. And I'm talking, like, the belt goes along these wheels. One of those wheels was busted, so I didn't know what that wheel was. So I had to basically get, like, paper and draw every one of those wheels down on a piece of paper, and then I had to walk a mile to the auto parts store and pull out my piece of paper on the counter at the auto parts store and be like, all right, look, I need another one of these belts, and then I need to know what this wheel is. So then we get on the computer at the auto store with the auto guy, and he's like, all right, so good news and bad news. And I'm like, just give them to me in good news, bad news order. He was like, all right, good news is I know what it is. Bad news is it's your water pump. And I was like, all right, cool. How much is a water pump? So we bought the water pump, and then it took me like the third day. Yeah, it took me like the third day to finally get it changed. Meaning the second day was me getting the car figured out to knowing what I needed to do. Like, I then had to walk another mile to a McDonald's so I could use YouTube to figure out how to change a water pump in my car. And all the YouTube videos were telling me that I had to unhook my engine mounts. I had to move my whole entire engine over. Other ones were telling me I had to go from underneath the car to change my water pump. And then I ended up changing it different than anyone had on any of the YouTube videos, and it was way easier. It's actually a jigsaw puzzle. meaning the hole that the water pump comes out of, you actually have to use for space to turn the water pump around, meaning you put the water pump down in the car backwards, and then you use the hole that it goes into. By putting the water pump in it backwards, you can turn the water pump around, and then once you've turned it around, you can then put it in the hole where it goes. Yeah, nobody on the internet had figured that one out for my car, but yeah, I guess I could have made a how to change your water pump in a 2001 Ford Focus. But yeah, man, definitely, you never know when that shit's gonna happen when you're living, in a car on your own, thousands of miles away from your family and shit. Like, anything could happen. Oh man, I got a crazy story of the time we almost got busted by the border patrol down in Mexico, guys. Like, oh my god, my woman, she's the cause of that, basically. One day we were out and she decides that she wants to get some weed. So we go to a McDonald's and she sees this guy who looks like a hippie and she's like, he's probably knows where to get some weed. Can I go ask him for some weed? I was like, I don't care what you do. So she goes and she asks this guy if he knew anywhere we could get like $20 worth of weed, and he told her yeah. And like he told her we'd have to follow him somewhere or something. I don't know. We followed him to this house or whatever, and he told us we had to wait there and he needed the $20. And I said, like, this is crazy. The guy doesn't even have $20 to cover the weed. We got to give him our $20 first. We're probably never going to see him again. It's probably a scam. And then I ended up telling her, I said, look, all right, I'm cool with giving him the money because he's going to leave his car sit here, the one that we just followed to get there, because he's going to borrow his brother's car to go get the weed, he said. And I told her, I said, look, if he doesn't come back, I will bust every fucking window out of his car and we will leave. And we'll never see the guy again. We were like in fucking... I think it was called like Three Churches, Arizona, or 3 Points down in Arizona, like 1 hour from the Mexico line in Arizona. And I told her, I said, look, we'll bust every fucking window out of his car and we'll just leave. I said, that's worth $20 to me. He's going to have to pay somebody more than $20 to fix him. So it'll be his own stupid, like basically karma got his ass. So we'll just sit here and wait. We'll give him 20 minutes. If he doesn't come back, that's what we'll do and we'll leave. Sure enough, the guy comes back, man, and he gives me a bag of weed that was like 2 fingers all the way across the bottom, bro, for $20. And I told him that if he hooked us up, we would hook him up, meaning I would give him some of the weed that we got. I never had bought a bag of weed that big in my life for $20. I pulled out a giant bud and tried to give it to him, and he was like, oh man, are you sure? Like, he acted like I didn't know him anything or something, meaning, so I guess he must have already got paid when he got it. I don't know anything about that. All I know is this motherfucker told me, be careful because Border Patrol is hot around that area. I was like, yeah, man, I already got a plan, like, which I did. I knew I had these tools to take the radio out, meaning you need 2 of these special Ford tools to take the Ford standard radio out. Well, I would remove the radio with those 2 tools, put the weed behind the radio, then put the radio back in, and then separate the tools, put like one in the passenger's door and then like one in the back in like the trunk or something. To where you basically would have to know exactly what was going on before you could ever get behind my radio. And sure enough, we leave. This guy, he says he can't smoke with us. I told him we would smoke with him. That's why we gave him the nugget and we left, because he couldn't smoke. We had to go. So anyway, we leave. And not even 5 minutes after leaving this guy's driveway, we got somebody who's on our ass. And we think it's because we're driving too slow. So my girl's like, all right, there's a passing lane coming. I'll slow down to let this vehicle pass me. So she slows down to like fucking, yeah, bro. Yeah, so she slows down to like 40 mile an hour maybe so that this car can go around us. And it doesn't. It flips on lights, man. We think it's the police, but it's Border Patrol. He doesn't even walk up to the driver's side window. He comes up to my window, the passenger's side, knocks on the window. I roll the window down. The first words out of his fucking mouth is that marijuana I smell. I'm like, nah, man, what are you talking about? And he starts telling me that that I just come out of a well-known drug area. Yeah, that's what I thought. In my gut, I felt set up. I said that I knew something was off. I said the bag of weed was bigger than any bag of weed I ever bought for $20. Watch, it's the exact size I need to get a felony in this state. Meaning, like, if you have over a certain amount, it probably counts as a felony. I was like, watch it be just that much that I'm holding a felony possession charge. So the guy starts asking me, he says that, like, I need to stop lying to him. He can smell weed. I never smoked any of the weed either, man. Meaning, like, this is total bullshit. But he says that he's seen us come out of a well-known drug area. What are we doing? Get out of the car. Says he's going to walk his dog around our car. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. It's also, like, December, bro. Like, 2 days before Christmas. It's, like, fucking freezing in Arizona. And, cause it's a desert, dude. At night it gets cold as fuck. Like, you could see her breath. It was bad. And my car at the time was packed full of shit because we were living in it. Like, so I knew that if they were going to search my car, it was going to take them like an hour and a half. And I was probably going to freeze to death waiting on them to do it. But either way, I was like, all right, man, whatever. Walk your dog around my car. He walks his dog around my car. And I swear I'd never seen a dog hit better than this dog hit, dude. Like, this dog straight up tried to attack my car. Like, and then he was like, all right, and he takes the dog back to the car. So I figured for sure we were fucked. But when he went back to his vehicle, I know for a fact that when cops go to their car, it's usually so they can eavesdrop on you with the sound system that they have in their cruisers or whatever. Like, they can hear anything like up to 400 feet away in the newer vehicles and shit. Like, I took criminal justice when I was in college. Like, I know a lot about the small shit of the law. So anyway, the guy he comes back. Let me get back to the point. My woman was freaking out, and I tried to tell her loud enough to where I was pretty sure that if he was listening while he was back there supposedly running our IDs, that, look, they can search the whole entire vehicle. All they're going to find is a bowl. Like, we'll just take a ticket for the bowl, and we'll get on about our way. Well, anyway, he comes back, and at this time, there's more police showing up behind him to where it's like, now there's multiple cruisers behind us. The guy starts asking me, he's like, all right, so if you weren't where you were to be scoring drugs or whatever, he's like, what the hell are you doing out here at 2:30 in the morning? And so I told him, I said, look, man, we're hikers. We live in our car. We've been hiking all day. I said, I'm looking for Native American petroglyphs, like real ones, not fake ones. I said, all the Native American petroglyphs that I've been able to find so far are already under tourism to where I can't actually hands-on go play with the glyphs. Like, I've got to pay the fee, walk around, and all that bullshit. I said, I'm looking for the real ones, the real deal. And every time I get told where they are, I can't find them. I get lost. It's bullshit. And I said, and that's it. And then we met some guy who told us that we could sleep back here. He had a place. Well, we went there. It didn't work out. So we were turning around. We're headed back to Walmart. We're going to sleep at Walmart's parking lot back in town. So the dude's like, all right. And then he starts telling me about where some Native American petroglyphs are. And so I'm basically pretending to listen and care. Like, okay, man, he's going to draw me a map. He, pulls out some paper and shit on his notepad. He starts, drawing his fucking map and telling me how to get to these petroglyphs. And as soon as he says they're in Mexico, I basically was just like, all right, I'm not going to these petroglyphs. He tells me I have to cross the border and, go down into Mexico and shit. And he's, telling me that, this can't be legal at all either. And it's the Border Patrol guy telling me how to get there. And then he tells me, he looks me in the eyes when I told him, I was like, yeah, man, but how do you know they're there? Because the last time somebody tried to tell me where, petroglyphs were, I get lost. He's like, I've seen them with my own eyes, bro. He's like, I've been there. He's like, you will find them. And he ends up letting us go, man. He doesn't bust us for that weed or even search the car. He doesn't even, he doesn't do shit, bro. He wrote me a map and gave it. I should have saved the map, but I I honestly was just so fucking happy to not get a ticket and not get busted and not have to deal with any, you don't understand, all the stress that was running through me at the time. Fuck, man, this again, I gotta deal with this bullshit. But yeah, so we totally got let go. He then told the other cops, nah, they're cool, just let them go. And we went and slept at Walmart because we'd already told the police we were going to be at Walmart. So we figured, what's the worst that could happen? The police call on us and say, hey, we got sleepers at Walmart. Okay, well then the same people are going to show up that already know we're here. So that was a crazy story too. But and then it turns out, bro, that weed we got was Mexican dirt weed, bro, that had stems in it and seeds in it. But get this. That shit got us so fucking high, bro. We were high on that weed for 2 fucking weeks straight, man. Some of the best stuff ever for being dirt. You said, will you use Lord Pump Seed? Probably not, bro. I'm using them for book rewards. That's what I'm using Lord Pump Seed for. Dude, they only ranked 22 Fritos, and I thought I was talking too much. Yeah, he does the same thing that a 105 Thasla can do, basically. I ranked them both. I guess I can rank them again because I have so many cells that I didn't get to use. But yeah, Lord Pump Seed can't get through Megaton on his own. He still needs something like Madame. So I don't see me using him. But it actually wasn't even a lie though that I was telling that border guy. Like, we did hike all day. I hiked in I think we were in New Mexico or something like that. We hiked. We did a lot of hiking, man. That's why sometimes it gets a little worrisome, that like, as being a convicted felon, you don't have a gun on you because that's another charge. And then it's like you're out in the middle of the fucking desert with just you, your lady, and your dog, and you're like, yeah, well, what are you supposed to do if like 6 hombres show up and they're like, who the fuck are these people? It's like, babe, I'll distract them, you run. Carry the dog. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, sometimes I find myself in some shitty situations, man. You should share all the stories on your channel. Oh, I will eventually, man. Like, I've got tons of them, man. Tons of stories, bro. Life was crazy living in the car, man. Vegas was crazy too, bro. We got trapped in Vegas for a while. Like, the car kept breaking down like every time we turn around. I honestly didn't think I was ever gonna make it out of Vegas, man. I thought we were gonna end up having to get an apartment in Las Vegas and live in Las Vegas. Like, both get jobs and end up just living in Las Vegas. I did not see a way out. I spent all the time in North Las Vegas. There was one time where the car didn't run for like a month and a half, and we basically just lived in a Planet Fitness parking lot. And I had like people that was starting to fuck with us, like, because they knew where we stayed in the car all the time, so they'd like come fucking bother us and shit. Set the time, man. Story time. I need to listen to it all. I can't tell it all at once, bro. That's not the way stories work. Stories are like this big pile of stories in your head, like it's like I've never been really constructive at telling stories, bro. Meaning, like, if I think about them, I can share them, but without like some sort of recall, it's hard to think about stories to share, man. I mean, I've done some pretty ghetto stuff too. Like, one time I had a homie that was in federal penitentiary, and he would somehow have a cell phone, bro. Like, I don't know the stories on how to get a cell phone. He just get a cell phone, man. And he would hit me up and let me know, like, with pictures from a cell phone, like maps. They would sit down and draw maps on notebook paper with the X marks the spot, and he want me to throw cigarette cartons where the X is. So, like, me and my girl were basically, like, on Mission Impossible, like, trying to smuggle cigarettes into a federal penitentiary for a buddy without getting busted. And that kind of shit was adventurous too, man. But, yeah, I mean, dumb shit happens in life too. Like, I could have got caught doing that kind of dumb shit, but we didn't. We would just always follow the maps, man. Dude had it worked out perfect. I guess like cigarettes were a pretty expensive commodity there because 2 cartons would get him like $200. Who else got popcorn? And then it's funny because earlier in the stream I mentioned, I told you guys my girl wanted me to talk about a guy who used to threaten to kill us, and now he's in prison for murder, and he would get shit-faced drunk. My girlfriend punched him in the face like once or twice because like one time he called her a bitch, and she looked at me and was like, are you going to let him talk to me like that? I'm like, what the fuck you want me to do about it? I was like, why don't you do something about it? Like, why don't you punch him in the face? If he does anything back to you, then I'll do something about it. My girlfriend like punched him in the face twice for running his mouth. But yeah, he was always just so fucking fucked up that like he couldn't hurt a fly. He was so drunk all the time. But yeah, anyway, the reason why I bring it up is he fucking ripped me off the last time that I had seen him in real life. Meaning like the last time I had any interaction with him was he was staying over my house, and I was doing some LSD with me, my girl, and some other girl, and I was supposed to go over to the other girl's house that night. Meaning I was basically like trying to work out some sort of like 3-way thing with me and my girl and that other girl. So I was up her house all night, And I left my buddy back at my place, and he fucking knew where I kept my weed, like up in the ceiling, and he fucking climbed up in the ceiling and stole like 4 ounces of weed from me that I didn't know about. And I never knew about it, meaning like I come home and I had like a couple ounces that I kept by my bed that were gone, and I started questioning him about it, and he got all defensive, and I was like, bro, you took my fucking weed out. I should kick your fucking ass, but it won't do no good. I'm just gonna send you to fuck home. And then sure enough, he like calls me downstairs like 20 minutes later and tells me like, look, man, look. And he's like pointing out an ounce of weed that's on my counter, like behind some fucking cookie jar or some shit. And I just looked at him in the face as I took my weed back. And I was like, dude, I should just fucking stomp you out right here in the kitchen. Like, because you and me both know that like you just put this shit here and told me that you found it. But anyway, I let it slide, and he goes home, and I don't think anything of it. And then that same guy that I used to throw cigarettes on the X marks the spot button just got out of Fed prison, and he was asking me if I knew where he could get any bud, and I was like, yeah, man, I got you. I got some really good fire-ass shit. Just meet me at my house, like, in a few hours, because I was still up this other girl's house. And then, sure enough, he meets me, and I go, like, he just drove like 2.5 hours to come see me, bro. And then I get home, I go climb up in my ceiling, and my weed's gone, bro. I'm 33. So I climb up in the ceiling, and the weed's gone, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And it's like, I got a dude coming to get this shit who just got out of Fed prison that I gave my word to that I had covered. He's going to show up, and I'm not going to have anything to fucking give him. So I didn't know what to do, but I had a ton of cash on me at the time. So I was basically like hitting up anybody that usually buys off of me and asking them like, hey, do you know anybody who's got any weed right now? I got a homie that's coming through that I promised some weed to, and I don't have any to give him. So I need to get some weed from somebody. And eventually I found this kid I went to college with who was like, yeah, I got some, man. And he wanted some crazy price for it. But I was like, fuck it, man. I gave my word to somebody. I'll take a price loss just to cover my word. So I show up at this dude's house and I buy his shit. And it's like not even the prettiest weed. It's like super nasty shit. But like, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's definitely bad. So anyway, my dude shows up and he looks at it and he's just like, bro, this is not anywhere near as good as what you said. And I said, look, man, it's kind of hard to explain, but I got robbed, man. This is the best I could do. This is the best I could come up with. Somebody robbed me for a few ounces out of my ceiling that I had already expected to, are you having a car? Man, don't ask ages, man. We live while we're young. Yeah, so like dude looks through the shit and he says he basically doesn't want it and I wasted his time or whatever, and I'm just like, look, man, here, I'm sorry, you just take this for free. Sorry, make you drive like 3 hours, and gave him like a little bit of butter or whatever for free, not the whole ounce or anything, and just let him go. But yeah, man, that really sucked. So I was so disappointed in that buddy because I, at the time, didn't even know he robbed me for the 4 ounces that were in the ceiling, which is still like $1,000 worth of shit, man. So basically a guy who claims to be a friend took $1,000 from me and dipped. And so, yeah, I basically cut ties with him at that point. I was like, my girlfriend's always been telling me she hates this motherfucker. She doesn't like it when he's around. She doesn't want him around. And I always make excuses for him. I always make excuses for him, man. Every time he would fuck up, I'd always make excuses for him. And I'd be like, look, man, we've been friends since elementary school. I've known this motherfucker for so long. Like, you don't understand. Like, when nobody was my friend in elementary school, this motherfucker was my friend. Like, when everybody was mad at me because the teacher told him to be mad at me, like, this motherfucker wasn't. Like, so sure enough, man, like, I was so disappointed with him that I just stopped talking to him and I cut off ties. And I was like, look, I'm done. I'm not going to hang out with him anymore. Like, he fucked me over too many times. It's cool. And then the next bit of news that I find out is this motherfucker murdered some old lady for some pills. And yeah, so he got caught like the next day. He didn't even make it one fucking day. He broke into an old lady's house. And when I say old lady, I mean somebody who's like 80 years old. He broke into her house while she was asleep and raided her medicine cabinet or whatever. And I guess she woke up and caught him while he was in her house. And he freaked out and took her frying pan and just dropped her with it. And then he went back home and got a hammer and came back and made sure she was dead with the hammer. And then he went home and tried to pretend like it never happened. And the police showed up like the next day to find a dead lady, and they started investigating. So they went to like every neighborhood house to see if like anybody had heard anything or had, knew what the hell had happened or what might have happened. And I guess when they showed up and knocked on his door, he freaked out, or they noticed that something was odd, and they wanted to take him downtown for questioning, and they took him downtown for questioning, and he never came back home. He ended up telling what happened. And yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Like, I got a newspaper somewhere of like that story from that guy. Like, yeah, and I haven't wrote him one letter since or nothing. I haven't made any contact with him. I don't even know what to say to that motherfucker, man. Like, you murdered an 80-year-old woman. I got no respect at all for you, but I also realized that he was probably shit-faced drunk when he did it. Meaning, that doesn't make it right. I'm just saying that I know from personal experience that I've done things while drinking that I would never do while sober. None of them are killing an old lady, though, but what if one of them was? Like, what if one of those times when I blacked out drunk and don't remember what happened last night, you told me I murdered some lady last night? Like, that would be a really shitty fucking thing to wake up to. I mean, I do got a lot of black hole memories from messing around with stupid-ass Xanaxes and shit. Xanaxes are like time warps, bro. You eat too many Xannies and it's like you time travel. 1 minute you're talking and having a conversation with somebody, and the next you're like, how the fuck did I get here? And you're like in a completely different house, sleeping on a fucking couch. And you're like, how the fuck? Where the fuck am I? And then you got all these people who are trying to tell you about all these things you did that you don't remember, and you're just like, what? I was up doing what? Where? No. It's like, yeah, man. One time I got really fucking drunk in college and I bought like a whole entire fucking party McDonald's food. All because I didn't want to eat in front of them. Like, I remember that much. You've been with the same girl for all these stories? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've been together for like 14 years, but I mean, I got stories before and after her, I guess. Because like we fought, and we like, when I was in college, there was a time when I lived on my own. Well, I mean, I didn't live with her when I say I live on my own. Yeah, like college basically put a big tater bomb in our relationship for a minute. But then eventually we basically got back together. So we were like, I guess you would say separated. But yeah, other than that, it's been the same lady for a long time. We met when I was like 18 or 19. I used to work at a gas station. That's probably one of my favorite jobs, man. I worked at a gas station right next to a high school in Virginia. It was called like a Handy Mart, I think is what it was called. But it had like a Subway inside the gas station, and it had a Baskin Robbins inside the gas station. And she worked at the Subway, but she worked there like a year before I started working there. And then I guess she had got her job back where she was going to like restart working there again. And she came in like 2 weeks before she started work again to buy a lighter. She used to smoke cigarettes back then. And I sold her a lighter, and I basically was like, you too pretty to be smoking. What the hell are you smoking for? Like, and then I think I said, when I asked for her ID, and she gave me her ID or something, I think I read like the address and shit, and was basically like, I could stalk you now. I got your ID. I know where you live. And just started fucking with her, and she came in the next day and said she had lost her lighter or whatever. She needed to buy another one. And I mean, later on I found out that was a lie, that she just left her lighter in the car so she could come talk to me again. But yeah, so then I talked to her a few more times, and then I find out that she works at the Subway inside the gas station that I work at. So it became like, I mean, pretty easy, I guess. I knew that basically at this point I said, man, I'm going to try to fuck that girl. Like, I'm going to make it my mission. So like, gonna go tell a girl I'm going to stalk her. Yeah, so like, I mean, I don't know, like, that's how we met. She worked at the Subway, and then I basically, like, the manager of the store, I was like, look, go over and tell that girl I like her, and see if she'll give you her number to give to me. And the girl went over there and was like, yeah, she'll date you. And I was like, I didn't even ask you to go see if she'll date me. I just asked you to go see if she'll give me a number. So then I just started talking to her, man. We've been together pretty much ever since, other than the hiccup. I remember at first, like, her parents, they hated me. They didn't want. She was like adopted by, I guess you would say, like upper middle class people. I was just a little too wild for them. Like, I told her mom, or I guess I don't know what the hell you call a fucking foster mom, just a mom. I told her mom a story of going to Hollywood when I was 18 because when I got in trouble once when I was 18, I thought I was going to jail for a long time. So I told myself before I went, I was like, dude, I got shit on a bucket list I want to do before I go to jail. Like, I see TV all the time and they show you that Hollywood sign up on the hill. I said, I don't even know that Hollywood is real. How do I know they not just make that shit up for the movies? I'm going to go check it out. Meaning I'm going to hop in my car and I'm going to drive all the way to Hollywood and check this shit out. And that's what I did, man. I took my two buddies and I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to Hollywood. And they're like, it's 3,000 miles away. You're never going to make it. I said, bullshit. I'm leaving tomorrow. You coming? And so my two buddies were like, yeah, I'm coming. And like everyone told me I wouldn't make it, dude. I had a cracked radiator when I left because I got a DUI. That's what I thought I was going to jail for, is because I was out on bond for 10 B&Es or 5 B&Es, 5 grand larcenies, 2 possession of a controlled substance, and I think a couple other charges. And I was out on bond for them. So if I got in any other trouble, they would revoke my bond. Well, I got a DUI in Virginia, so I thought they were going to revoke my bond. So as soon as I tried to get out of the jail in Virginia as soon as possible, as soon as I got out, that's when I went and grabbed my buddies and was like, hey, man, I'm leaving. I'm going, like, because they're going to find out that I got in trouble in Virginia and they're going to revoke my bond, which means they're going to put a warrant out for my arrest and I'm going to have to go back to jail. I was like, so I want to go off to Hollywood before that happens. Yeah, and, like, I should have just stayed in Hollywood because while I was locked up for a while, I was librarian at one point, and I was reading the law books for West Virginia. And West Virginia's laws, you cannot be extradited for anything but capital crimes, meaning theft and break and enterings isn't enough to extradite you, meaning only from the outside the 5 surrounding states. Meaning if you're in one of the 5 surrounding states, they can extradite you. But if I would have stayed in Hollywood, they couldn't extradite me. Meaning if you got like pulled over in Hollywood by the cops would run your name and they would say, oh, you know, you got an outstanding warrant in West Virginia, but they wouldn't lock you up and call West Virginia and be like, hey, we got him, come get him. Like they wouldn't martial law your ass back over there. Or so oh yeah, I'm free, bro. I've been free for a while. But so anyway, like I went all the way to Hollywood to see if Hollywood was real, bro. And it was real. It was crazy. Like it was the first time I'd seen like people driving Porsches for real. I mean, I just left the fucking woods of West Virginia to go across the country. They do them all the time. It will help. Oh, let's see. Hopefully, I get more of this crazy monster that I need. Dude, one time I almost got conned in freaking LA when I was 18. Like, I needed brakes when I left West Virginia. You could hear my rotors squeaking. I was only in Virginia, man. So I drove all the way across the whole country without any fucking good brakes. And then I get to, I think we were in Beverly Hills Mall. They have a big mall that's like 8 stories high in Beverly Hills. And we parked on, I think, the 3rd floor of the parking garage. I think the first 4 floors of the mall are just parking. And then like the top 4 floors are the actual mall. And the brakes fell off the car and I didn't know it. I went to park the car and I just heard ting. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And the car like started moving and the car wouldn't stop moving. Like I tried to open up the door, put my foot out and like stop the car with my foot. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but yeah, it was my brakes fell off the car. They were so hot that they just like, the ting was the brake pads hitting the fucking, the ground. And my car had no brakes at all, bro. I drifted it all the way out of the parking garage, and their parking garage has like a thing where the fence comes down and you gotta like put your ticket in or whatever to like open the fence back up so that you can get out, and you gotta pay for how long you were in the garage. I didn't have no way to stop for none of that shit other than me and my buddy putting our foot out and stopping the car with our foot. But sure enough, man, there's no auto places around the Beverly Hills Mall that aren't like places that fix Lamborghinis or Porsches, or they're just basically exotic car shops. Like there's no Pet Boys like by the Beverly Hills Mall, bro. There's no Pet Boys on Melrose Street or Hollywood Avenue or Boulevard, whatever it was called. Nothing like that. So I had to like push and drift my car through like multiple stoplights of bumper to bumper traffic in LA to finally find an auto place that would fix the fucking car. And I first told the guy, I said, look, man, I said, I don't know what's wrong with the car, and I only have so much money. I was like, so what I need you guys to do is I need you to look over the car. Don't fix anything on it. Just tell me what's wrong with it. And then call me so that I can come back and we can discuss like what we're buying, what we're fixing, you know, how we're going about things. And dude was like, all right. He was like some Indian guy. He was like, all right. He barely spoke English. He was like, you go. We be 1 hour. He said, you come back. We tell you what's wrong. I was like, okay, cool. I leave, I come back 1 hour later, dude tries to tell me, he's like, okay, this was wrong, that was wrong, we fixed this, we fixed that, you owe me $900. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, both my buddies looked at me and was like, bro, we ain't paying $900 to this guy to fix no fucking car. So straight up, I think the guy was just trying to get me because I was young. But I told him, I said, look, man, I said, we got to talk because I'm not paying. I said, I told you guys not to fix shit. Like, we're not paying for that shit. He's like, well, my guy already do the work. You owe for labor. You owe for the part. You owe for this. I was like, there's no way, man. I was like, the best thing that's happening here is you're taking all that shit back off my car. You're putting the broken shit back on and we leave it. And he was like, no, we can't do that. And I was just like, so we argued for like, I don't know, probably like an hour and a half. And the dude finally was like, I just charge you for the parts. I'm not going to, like, we're not going to take it back off of your car. Because I was determined. I wasn't leaving there without basically saying, like, look, man, you're going to put the shit back the way it was. Like, or you're not getting any money at all. That's just the way it's going to work. And the dude ended up charging me like $150 for the rotors. I ended up only having to buy like one new rotor and 4 new brake pads because they used a grinder to sand down the rotors that I previously had and put them back on the car. So yeah, that was definitely a crazy experience at being 18 and not having, you know, parents around to help you and just having some, you know, like weirdo at a freaking auto place trying to con you and you got not a leg to stand on because you don't have a car, you don't have nothing, you just got a few dollars in your pocket and you're in Hollywood. Meaning you're like just a blink away from being another one of those bums on the street. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, I found out that Hollywood was real. That was what I got out of that. And then eventually I had to come back and turn myself in because I was in trouble for being in California when I was supposed to be in West Virginia. And then I went on house arrest for like a year. I did a year on house arrest because that's what come out of that, meaning I tried to get my bond reinstated once I got back to West Virginia. I was like, look, man, I'm not going to run. I'm going to come to court. I was like, can I just like go back out on bond? And they were like, no, there's a chance you could, you know, do the same stupid shit and just disappear on us and not come back. And then we agreed to like house arrest. So I ended up staying on house arrest for like a year, which was a pain in the ass because they charged me like $70 a month to be on house arrest. But the other funny thing about house arrest is they use your telephone to monitor that ankle bracelet that you have to wear. And my problem was I used dial-up internet at the time because I didn't have any fancy internet or anything like that. And I was playing, you know, games on the internet using a dial-up phone. And I would stay on the internet like 12 to 16 hours out of the day. And the house arrest people would be trying to like ping my bracelet to see if I'm home. And they would get a busy signal all the time because I'm on the fucking internet. So where they once sent a sheriff to my house because they thought I was doing some fancy shit to like, I guess, get out of or to manipulate the house arrest thing to where basically it was getting a busy signal while I wasn't home or something. Like, and I was like, nah, man, I'm here. I'm always here. I use the internet. And they basically told me, they were like, you're going to have to get a second phone line for the internet or we're going to take your ass to jail. I was like, this is ridiculous, bro. You guys didn't say shit about me needing a phone when I was at fucking court trying to get on house arrest. That wasn't part of the house arrest deal. You guys didn't say, hey, you need a specific phone line for house arrest. You just said, I needed $70. Like, that shit was funny. And then, like I told you guys, I used to run a bot on Diablo, man. Fucking, I think it was like 2 months once that I ran a bot while going to school, and then my uncle was trying to call my house for like fucking 2 months, and he got a busy signal for 2 months straight. So when he finally broke through, you could say he was a little pissed off trying to find my dad. He's like, I thought I was going to have to go cross country to find my brother. So yeah, it's a good thing nowadays you don't have to use the telephone to get on the internet. Well, like my probation officer would say, I was out of diapers and in handcuffs, man. Like, I even got in trouble when I was a juvenile. I've been to juvie. Juvie was worse than jail, man. They'll hit you in juvie. Guards will only hit you in jail if you did, like, if you put hands on somebody or you resist them. Like, in juvie, dude, they'll straight fucking slap shit out of you. So yeah, that's a tough one to answer, man. I don't really know how you begin that one. I got a bunch of crimes though, man. You mean like what's the most evilest thing I've done criminal wise? Like if I was trying to describe that I was a bad person, all my crimes are non-violent. I once broke into churches and stole their music equipment. That's probably like the worst thing I'd ever done criminal wise. I was addicted to crystal meth at the time though. I was just trying to get some shit to pawn so I could sell it and get some money. Yeah, I think I got the longest time for stealing the church equipment. It was like $200 and some thousand worth of church equipment. It was from 5 different churches. Basically, I stopped and I thought about it and I was like, what do they use to like preach to the whole church? Like their speakers, their PA systems, their microphones. Like what kind of sound equipment do they use? And then I was like, you know, they don't have any security systems. Like this is perfect. Like I'm just gonna walk in a church and take all their sound equipment, and then I can just like go to another state and pawn it. And yeah, that was a pretty shitty idea. One of my buddies got us caught, like, he told on himself, basically. They put a reward in the paper, and fucker, like, he told his aunt or something so she would take him to another state. And then his aunt called him in for the reward. And then he snitched me out. But thankfully, we hadn't sold much of the stuff yet, so they were able to get it all back, and we just had to pay like restitution and shit. Out of like $200,000 worth of shit, we probably only sold like 30 grand of it. We literally had used this like one of our buddy's sisters bought a fucking trailer that she didn't live in anymore. She was like living with a boyfriend or something, but she still owned this trailer like out in the middle of nowhere. So we literally like filled it up. The bedroom had music equipment in it. The living room had music equipment in it. The hallway had music equipment. It was like a whole fucking trailer was like just a big old storage box of music equipment. Well, they was able to find the trailer full of shit, so they got back everything that was in the trailer. Now that one served the most time, but the drugs was the most expensive, bro. Meaning I lost like 30 grand of my own pocket over the Ohio drug bullshit. They basically took like all the money I had, man. Like me and my girl got fined $10,500 each. They took all my stuff, which was like probably 25 grand worth of shit. I had to pay to get my car back. Then I had to pay for months, like, to go to court. It took like a year. And it's like $200 in gas every time I'd have to go. I went through 2 lawyers. The first one fucked me. I mean, and his retainer and all that shit wasn't free either, so I spent a couple grand on a lawyer. I didn't get that money back. Man, it's been a long ass time and this team ain't really... I can never be online when I need to be. Meaning they always flip over the nodes when I'm not paying attention. I got legends, I don't have epics. I could rank legends if it was rank legends, but it's rank epics, it's not rank legends. But when I was like, the first serious thing that I ever really got in trouble for is I robbed a music store when I was 16. Just like the Sublime song, bro, and I didn't even know who Sublime was back then. Like, I threw a brick right through the fucking window. Fucking hardcore, just like out of the fucking movies, man. My buddy, he drove. I lied, told my parents I was staying the night at his house. He lied, told his parents he was staying the night at my house. And we drove out to the city when everything was closed. It was like 2 a.m. And we had blankets in the back of his car. He had like a hatchback Firebird back then. And we rolled up to the music store, which was like in a mall plaza center, basically. And I threw a brick through the window. And the window did not drop the way that I had imagined it was going to drop. I just thought if I threw a brick through the window, like, the window would shatter. But only the bottom panel in the door broke. So I basically had to, like, stand there and stare at it in disbelief for a quick second. And then the top panel fell. And then I was like, all right, cool, now I can run in. And then I ran in, and he ran back to the car because the alarm system was going off, and it was loud as fuck. You could probably hear it from a mile away. And it was flashing alarms and shit, and the lights were going off, and I ran in the store anyway. He went back to the car, and then I just went shopping. Like, I looked down the wall at the most expensive guitars they had because I had a buddy lined up who told me he would give me his computer if I gave him a guitar. So I was like, all right, man. I went and I found, like, these crazy Fender Stratocaster things they had that were like $5,000 guitars, bro, and they were like bolted to the wall. So I was literally like up in this store with the alarms going off, bro, with like 2 feet on the wall, like two hands on the guitar, just yanking on that motherfucker, trying to break the wall mount. Finally, I did break the wall mount, and I did that for a couple of guitars, and then I ran out to the car with like a guitar in each hand, and my buddy was like, "Come on, let's go, let's go." I was like, "Fuck no, I'm not ready to go. I'm going back in to get more." So I threw those in the trunk and I went in to get more guitars. And when I come back the second time, he said that if I didn't get in the car, he was fucking leaving me there because he was going. He already had the car started and was like basically inching it, moving. Like the car was moving while I was trying to put guitars in the back of it. And he told me he was going to leave me if I didn't get in. So I hopped back in. And this motherfucker, he had those headlights that where like the beams go up, meaning the headlights come up out of the car or whatever. Well, he forgot to turn his headlights on. We got pulled over at the first stoplight from where we left. Like, we literally didn't even travel 300 feet, man, and we got pulled over. And it was two cops, and I could hear, when my window was down, I could hear the alarm going off to the music store still while we're pulled over. And he never gave me enough time to cover up the guitars in the back. So you could see them just from looking in the like back window of the car because he had a hatchback. And the partner cops, the one was asking questions. Like I lied and told him my name was John Smith. And they were like, "John Smith?" I was like, "Yeah, but my middle name's Larry, so everybody calls me Larry Smith." And they just asked like what we were doing, where we were coming from. We told them we went and watched a movie and shit. And then like they told us that, you know, the reason why they pulled us over was because we didn't have our headlights on, and it's illegal to drive in the city without your headlights on. Even though you can see everything because of the street lights and the city lights, it's still illegal. And they were just going to give us a warning, bro. All right, later, man. So they was just going to give us a warning, and they did. But the problem was they eventually, I guess when they got back to the sheriff's station, they realized that, you know, there'd been a call in that a music store had been robbed. And then they were like, "Oh, we pulled over these kids earlier tonight that had a bunch of brand new guitars in the back of the car." And so they ran his ID, and then they like showed up at his house to ask where the guitars were. Well, he left me out in the woods with the guitars at the guy's house that was supposed to trade me a computer for him. And he did. I gave him the guitar, and supposedly his computer was mine. And then I hid the other guitars behind his futon in his bedroom. And then the police ended up showing up there because my buddy snitched me out and led the cops to this guy's house. And then the cops basically were like, "Where's the guitars at?" and all this shit. And I tried to play stupid, like I didn't know what they were talking about. And then they told my buddy's mom that if the guitars were in her house, that they could confiscate her house for basically allowing it to take place. So basically she would lose her house, all this bullshit, which, I mean, they were probably making up. But anyway, she then tells my buddy, you know, the one that I traded the guitar to, that, "Look, they're going to take my house. If you have anything to do with this or you know anything about this, you better speak up now." And then he told him where the guitars were. So yeah, I ended up getting fucking busted at 16 for that bullshit. But that was the first time I ever really got in like big trouble where like I had to do juvie time for and shit. Yeah, so I definitely got a lot of crazy bad stories, but like I said, man, that shit's in the past. I ain't been in trouble in a long ass time. I don't even do anything illegal. Like, when it comes to drugs, I'm only addicted to candy. I guess caffeine, but it's not really the caffeine that I'm addicted to. It's the high fructose corn syrup. I mean, that's why I drink so much soda. That, and I tried going on juice for a while, but juice is expensive, man. Like, when I first started doing these streams, man, I'd always be drinking juice. Like the live streams for for live duels. I'd just be drinking grape juice all the time. Well, the cheapest you can even get grape juice is like $1.50 for a fucking for concentrate of it. Like a can of frozen concentrate. That's the cheapest grape juice I know of. And it's still too damn expensive. For the cost of a whole 12-pack of soda, I can only get 2 little cans of grape juice. Alright, so let's check this gauntlet. After we check this race, they're almost ready to flip, guys. So we're going to go like maybe one node. I think we might get one node. Alright, so again, we've never We've never been per extra turned by this guy except on node 41, so I'm going to continue to risk it until that's not the same story anymore. Meaning if this guy ever starts per extra turning me on 48, I will go back to baiting it every single time, but until then, we're going to risk the biscuit every time. I mean, the only real risk is 10 gems on tabora, because that's the one we need for our other team. And there's really no way around that. So let's see if today's the day. Yeah, usually it's always, did you miss me? And the answer is nope, I never missed him. Alright, well, we missed Moochie. I guess if Curse misses him too, it could get pretty ugly. Thankfully, Curse didn't miss him. Alright, so Loom will take 2 turns, but I don't think Loom can do anything but that light shield shit. And I can punch a Loom, I think. Or actually, we might even be able to get a Sunburn. And I think a Sunburn does double versus Moochie. Oh my god, bro. How about missing that fucking thing one time? Oh my god, guys. Did anybody see that? Oh wow, bro. I guess we can only talk so much shit about not being lucky. That was pretty fucking lucky. Because this guy would be vandalizing my whole team right now. Did you see that, bro? He ulted me and missed. Well, the damage missed. Everything else landed. The stamina drain and shit. That or does his attack not do damage? Does Moochie's special not do damage? I can't check because I'm busy in the node, but... I don't think he can ult twice in a row, but maybe he can. Yeah, I'm hoping they all die before Bomb goes again, because if Bomb dies from that stupid fucking move, I'll be so pissed. Okay, it's 2 turns before death. Thank God. Man, it would have been crazy if Bomb died to a death countdown. To me, this is a node that I definitely have to bait, because Zorky could easily put a fire weakness on my Bombetta. I'm going to use the bathroom and grab another soda first, but I also need to check and pay attention to how much damage he does to the bait team that or the throwaway team that I send in, because if it's high enough, I could bring in my Uriel team. All right, let's see. First, we'll put his life back to max. I might even take me a nice shit break since only 7 people's watching. And we can come back and finish the second half. Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Alright. I'm going to end the stream, guys, for an official potty break, and then I will start it back up when we get back.